We have to be. It's all fancy and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a formal.
Oh my God!
Formal
YouTube
live
still
stream
says
show.
going live. Oh, now it just actually went live. All right. Well, I'm glad that just happened. Thanks,
Takes its sweet
YouTube.
time.
Yeah. So now we're actually live, and we're still fresh as fuck. So, yeah.
Hell yeah! What's up, everybody? Did they miss that whole first part?
They missed that whole first
think
part.
they missed that whole first part. If what YouTube was telling me was correct.
I just caught it. We missed the whole first part.
Oh my God. Well, that's YouTube's fault. It's not our fault. We were on time. YouTube is cringe. Yeah, we got the AdeptiCon reveal today. Oh my God, it still says predictions. It probably shouldn't still say predictions. This is the actual reveals, y'all.
I mean, it hasn't started yet, so we're still predicting.
It's true. We're still in the predictions phase. I don't even remember what our predictions were that we had. AOS 4th edition. Huh?
I was gonna say, since we've did our predictions, there were some leaks.
Oh, there were.
I know my predictions were all wrong.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Well, I guess we saw the leaks for the Imperial agents.
Mm-hmm.
They're still,
really
it's still not confirmed whether or not those are true. So,
Right.
could still be false leaks. Hello, Alpha Omega. Hello, Master G. What is up?
What up? What up? Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, we're getting amped for the AdeptiCon reveals. Yeah, new edition of AOS probably. Skaven are going to be the big bads. None of us knew shit about Warcry or Necromunda or any of that.
Yeah, I got no clue. My wild guess for Necromunda was that they were going to bring out the I forgot what they were called.
The super suit guys, the Frozones.
Super guys, yeah, the rich, yeah. Cyphers, Cybelers.
Cyblers, yeah, I think that was it.
Weird. Yeah, something like that. What's up, Warfjig? Welcome.
Howdy.
Spirers.
No,
Spirers?
Spirers, that was it.
I have a Spirers, yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I was close with whatever I said. I have a slight logistics question.
Uh-huh.
Are we just like? Should I watch the stream on another window?
No, you'll
So I'm
see it.
reacting to it.
No,
Okay.
you'll see it. It'll be here, I promise.
All right.
Whether or
think
not
they like
we're
black.
supposed to do that, I don't know, but we're gonna do it anyway. Probably not.
People do that all the time. Other people do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just get me not demonetized for it, which is fine. I don't care. I just wanna get hype with the homies.
Well, who's gonna buy my chicken nuggets then if you're demonetized?
You're gonna have to buy your own chicken nuggets. I'm sorry.
No, you can't do this to me. Oh my
I'm
goodness,
sure somebody
James.
from chat will buy you some chicken nuggets. Maybe Road Squatch, because you're
James.
Space Squatch.
Yeah.
Road Squatch, what's up, Road Squatch? My land-bound brother. I go by Space Squatch on most. To clarify, my username in pretty much every game I play is Space Squatch.
Space
So-
Squarch.
Yeah, there's Scorch. There you go. I realize.
Why is
that
that
might
not
have
just
been...
your normal username?
What do you mean?
Space Squarch?
Well, like you use a casual game for other things. Why don't you just use Space Squatch?
Okay, so a casual game is a project from ages ago that
Okay.
has taken on different forms over the years, but I've never put time into it. I have plans to start doing more with it here in the near future.
Yeah.
Finally, but
Finally?
I think
We kind of talked about it a
might
little bit.
Actually, yeah, I've asked some logistical questions and stuff. A casual game, I think, actually might predate Space Squatch.
Oh, the deep lore.
I could be wrong about that. It all gets there's multiple hazy periods of my life where everything's a blur and a rush, and I don't remember the things I did or the enemies I made. But yeah,
What were you doing to make enemies?
Space Squatch is my name usually online. I don't usually use my real name.
Jordan has
It was
been
my
known
idea
to
about
dox.
Oh yeah, I mean I dox myself all the time on Slam Sector, so you know.
It's
Whatever.
true. You did. Literally last stream.
We doxed ourselves a ton on Blunderdome when we got hammered, you know.
Yeah, I believe that.
And we might, you know, there might be some Blunderdome in the future, and we'll dox ourselves again, you know.
The Blunderdome's coming back?
We've been talking. We got to figure out how to technically coordinate everything again. We took our complex and difficult to solve technical problem, and we've added another variable of being separated.
Look, I can
not like
I can help.
relationship separated.
Yeah, you
I
guys
might
got
need to squeeze
divorced.
Your brain. Well, he got married. He left me, and I married them. So,
I was gonna say technically
kinda
you
my
married
fault.
them.
Yeah, I officiated.
Yeah, you're just marrying everybody, huh?
Yeah. Married Elliot, married Zach.
Ryan's just
married
married.
Aspen.
Ryan's just married to so many people. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, you know. I think it'll help me with my taxes. Oh, speaking of taxes, I need to do my taxes.
Yeah, everybody, make sure you do your taxes.
Do your taxes, so the government doesn't steal all your chicken nuggets.
True. I mean, they're stealing my chicken nuggets with taxes.
I need to do my taxes.
No
'cause,
taxation without chicken nuggets.
Yeah. See, are we gonna like throw a bunch of chicken nuggets in a bay? Like, I would feel bad about doing that.
We can dump like chicken nugget juice in the bay, I guess, or just like frying oil.
The that would just be an ecological disaster.
I mean, I think chicken nuggets, a bunch of chicken nuggets, would also be an ecological disaster.
No.
You know
the
the
fish would eat
tea
them. They'd
wasn't
be happy.
brewed tea, right?
It was leaves, yeah.
I mean, it got brewed
Yeah,
in the
okay.
bay.
Like
Like
so,
it was tea leaves. It was
It
bales
got
of
brewed
tea.
by the ocean.
Yeah, it was cold brew, organic cold brew, free range,
Free range tea.
bespoke bay tea. You know.
All right. I'm just looking at Reddit. What does Reddit think? That we're gonna get our wish list here.
Does
An even taller version of the Sidonian Scatros that costs $10 more and 10 points less.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Incredible.
Just keep making them taller and taller.
Chaos teasers. Oh, a new Huron. That would be kind of cool.
Man, that'd be pretty sweet. I like the Red Corsairs. My three favorite Chaos Legions are Iron Warriors, Red Corsairs, and Night Lords.
Dang, Night Lord last on the list, huh?
I mean, you know, it shuffles.
It does. That list is
They like
constantly
being
moving
last
around.
on the list because they're like sneaky, you know.
Oh, they're hiding. They're hiding
Yeah.
in third place.
It's not a ridiculous idea to think that one day I'll just have an army of each, but we'll see.
Oh, a plastic Trazen. Okay. Oh,
That'd be
here we
rad.
go. This is a good one. Age of Sigmar, Skaven. Necromunda, Skaven. Warcry, Skaven. Old World, Skaven. Underworld, Skaven. 40k, Skaven. Kill Team, Skaven. Horus Heresy. Can you guess?
No.
Resin,
No, you can't.
Resin, Skaven, Primarch.
That's awful.
What's up, Carl? Welcome.
Carl, what's up, homie?
Hello.
So, is there currently like an actual like I mean, Tyranids in my mind fill the sort of gap of the Skaven, but they're not like Skaven in 40k. Like they're not. Skaven have other things about them that make them like
GSC are more
Skaven.
like Skaven, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gene Stealer Cult.
Yeah. I mean, they tap into a little bit of that sort of digging and like the machinery and the weird weapons. I suppose you're right there. But like, are there Ratmen in 40k?
Maybe.
I know
there's,
in my
there's
third
cat boys.
edition- there are cat boys. That is confirmed. I know in my what happened to Sean?
Sean is rejoining. He's having some issues.
Oh, okay.
He's got a pretty big
In my
delay,
third
apparently.
edition rule book, the first picture I ever saw of a Harud looked like a Skaven, pretty much. It was like
Yeah, I
this
think that's
really-
like been retconned at this point.
Yeah, like they've changed. The Harud have become like weird reptile Sasquatch time.
Oh,
warpers.
Sean's painting.
Whoa, Sean turned into a Templar.
Sean
Have
Templar.
to figure out how to switch my camera without doing advanced mode.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
I believe in you.
This is now a painting.
Is it embarrassing to go advanced mode? We can just do this until you're back.
What is advanced mode?
I don't know. Oh, advanced VMix?
Is it like...
Hey, Sean's back.
Go to the login page, you can click advanced, and it lets you get like camera selection and stuff like that.
Oh wow!
All right.
Yeah, so when you click the VMix link before entering your password, at the top it'll say go to advanced mode, and it lets you select your camera and stuff. I was trying to use that to cancel the delay, but apparently it's not. Things we've had to learn for rookies is how to switch cameras and screen share and all that.
Yeah, I'm not very often on the other side of a VMix call, so.
Yeah, me either. My first time was last Thursday or whatever. So, Ryan, is a bit of a delay normal?
Yes.
Okay.
Like when I shake my head, I turn my head, the little picture of me turns, then the stream of me turns.
Okay. All right.
So I can,
cool.
I can
well, I'm not going
have
crazy.
a lot of fun. It's probably just because I'm being stupid to everybody except me.
What
Yeah, it
else
looks
is
cool.
new? I'm just kidding. That's rude. Yeah, we've got a few minutes, in theory, until the stream starts. Although it still just says immortality is a curse and starting soon. So I don't know if they're going to do like an actual countdown, because they usually do like a trivia little countdown. But this is what we got right now. We're just waiting.
I mean, they still have 3 minutes.
They do still have 3 minutes. Yeah, there are Skaven in 40k, but they're on a planet that ages technology to the point of destruction in days.
Is that not the HRUD?
That sounds like the HRUD.
That sounds like the HRUD to me.
HRUD. HRUD rat.
HRUD. Is it okay? So is it HRUD or is it HRUD?
Well, so I was listening to
just
audiobooks. I was listening to audiobooks, and they, at least in the Gaskell book, they pronounced it HRUD.
Oh, short. He's Lord Emney just says a short story about a rogue trader.
Interesting.
We'll have to hunt that down. Speaking of rogue traders, how are you liking that rogue trader game?
It's pretty good. It's a lot to wrap my head around. I'm not super used
mechanically or story-wise?
Mechanically. I mean, kind of both, actually. Okay. The story itself is, like, pretty straightforward, but there's so much, like, depth. You can just dig into so much lore, and it kind of just throws it all at you very quickly. So, yeah. It's cool. Sean, if you're talking, you're muted.
I'm a professional. That company makes.
We're all pro streamers here.
That company makes the Pathfinder games, and they are so complicated that even I had to go. I'm good. I'll pass.
Yeah, this is like, it's pretty complicated. I'm kind of getting it. The talent system is a lot to figure out. Because it's basically like feats from D&D, I guess. So it's kind of like if you just don't already know them, you have to read every single one and figure out what they do, and there's a lot of them.
Is it based on like D&D? Or are you just using that as a reference?
It's based on Pathfinder, which is based on D&D to my understanding. I think so. Right? I mean, if it's the same company, I assume it's probably also based on Pathfinder.
Well, Pathfinder is owned by Paisio Publishing, and I think they gave the license to the company that made the games. Like they don't make video games.
Right.
Right.
Oh, wait, hold on. We got stuff, boys. We got stuff, boys.
Show me the stuff. I can't hear him.
My name's Lewis, and I'll be your host for this brand new show, bringing you all the latest releases from the Warhammer.
Can you hear Lewis?
We've got
this is new.
Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40,000, Warcry, Warhammer Underworlds, Warhammer The Old World, Kill Team, and loads more. There's certainly something for everyone, and with that in mind, we've called in our top team of Warhammer presenters to talk to the fabulous people at the studios to give you the lowdown on what's on the way for your favourite games systems. And boy, have they been busy. So, without further ado, let's get started with our first reveal.
All right.
Oh,
Cool.
baby. Jump Pack Lord confirmed. It's gonna be a bad year for my wallet.
Dread Talons.
What?
New unit?
Chaos Lord with jump pack, yeah. Oh, it's a Battle Force box. Called the Dread Talon. Got it.
Lots of cultists, warp, or no, raptors.
Veterans of the Long War, Pog.
How old are those raptors?
Yo, look at that dude.
They're not super old, but they're not super new either. Wait, so is that 2 different boxes?
That
Kind of
looks
seemed
two.
like it.
Let the galaxy burn! It looks like the Chaos Space Marines are back, and the long war is going to be fought with renewed vigour with the return of the Chaos Space Marines. Now, thanks for joining us. We've got Stu and Josh from the Warhammer studio here. Thanks for joining us, guys. So we've got shiny new miniatures and 2 new battle forces as well. Tell us all about them.
Yeah, so 2 Chaos Lords, a return of a popular kind of fan favourite in the Chaos Lord Jump Pack. So he comes back in a battle force with some Raptors and a load of other Chaos Space Marine stuff. And then we've also got the other battle force, which contains a brand new multi-part Chaos Lord with all kinds of different options. He's got Demon Hammer, he's got Axe, different pistols.
He's got the hammer confirmed. Hell yeah.
And 2 battle forces as well.
2 battle
in the same
forces,
release.
yeah.
There's too much chaos for one box.
There is too much chaos for one box, and we also tried to make sure that both of those boxes give you a slightly different kind of miniatures collection. So actually, if you want to go all in and get both, it just gives you a really good collection of Chaos Space Marines.
That's really cool. Now, of course, no release like this is complete without the Codex.
Sure.
What can Chaos Space Marine fans and new Chaos Space Marine fans expect from the new Codex?
Like lots of the codexes that we've done recently, we've refreshed all the background, we've added a load of stuff from the events of the Arcs of Omen, so the return of Vashtor, and his pact with Abaddon.
They made his datasheet better.
To finally try and get closer to overthrowing the rule of terror. His planetary engine, the Wormwood, is back in real space, so some more adventures of Vashtor. A load of great rules content as well. So 8 new detachments, I think, Josh, isn't it?
8 new detachments.
Wow.
So I think we keep the index
a lot.
detachments.
That's a lot of detachments.
And then there's
Yeah.
now 7 new detachments,
Yeah.
depending on however you want to play.
I
Do
bet
you wanna play
one
with
is probably a
horde?
cultist or a
Do you want
guard
to play
one?
with
Oh.
all your demon engines? Do you want to play like that, the Alpha Legion style, which is all infiltrating and sneaking up on people? Whichever your style is, there's a way to play now.
That's fantastic. So whichever army you've got, you can sort of switch between detachments and play the way you want to play. That's cool.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh, I wonder if there is like
Sounds awesome.
There is an entire
a CSM,
there's,
like World Eaters detachment now.
Yeah.
Or like a
There's also
CSM.
others, as Josh
Death
said,
Guard
that kind of
detachment.
lean into a particular style that we associate with some of the legions. So there's a kind of a sneaky kind of Alpha Legion-y kind of one. There's another one that enables you to play kind of tanks and siege engines, which has got a bit of an Iron Warriors
Ryan?
vibe. But if you want to play a Night Lord Siege Force, knock yourself out.
Ryan? They're talking to
There
you?
are word
They know about me.
There are, yeah.
They always sneak in.
They do. And
Holy
that
shit.
detachment
They're
is
talking to
really
you.
focused on, the one from the Index really leans into their kind of pacts with the different Chaos Gods and the different marks. So that one's a great way to represent your Wordbearers.
Cool. Can Chaos Space Marine players still make dark pacts with the gods?
Yes, they can. Yeah, and then all the detachments still can. So that
cool.
isn't locked to just the word bearers. The Dark Pact is their army ability. So you still have that. You can still go for your lethal or sustained hits, so that they'll still be enjoying that ability as they go through the game.
We really wanted to make sure that the whole Chaos Space Marine army has a very different feel to the Loyalist Marine armies. Fundamentally, they're all like big dudes in power armor, right? So how do we make those things feel differently? Really leaning in from the Chaos Space Marines to the fact that they are empowered by the Dark Gods. They make those pacts, both from a rules point of view, but also, the miniatures themselves, you see them, they don't just look like Space Marines that have gone evil. They're kind of corrupted by the warp and fused with the dark powers. So we really want to do that across everything, the artwork, the rules, the background sections, photography, really trying to capture the dark glory of chaos.
That's brilliant.
Oh, fantastic. I'm excited. So going back to the 2 battle forces we've got, so the Dread Talons really appeal to me because I have a penchant for close combat, I think it's fair to say. So tell me about that set.
That one would be perfect for you, Si. It's really close combat focused. You've got the new Jump Pack Lord, with his Raptor bodyguard. You've also got the demon prints in there. You can build that as a wing demon print. So again, super fast, super fighty. And then the rest of that box is rounded out by a cultist horde, the accursed cultists and cultists, kind of at least something that can hold on to the objectives that you've fled past and your your onrushing charge. So yeah, great box for you.
I like an expendable core for my army. That's exactly.
You see, I think I'm a bit more tactical than that. So the Veterans of the Long War box would appeal more to me. It's more of an archetypal Chaos Space Marine force, right?
Yeah, so that one you have your
Probably
Chaos
pick up
Warrior
the
foot.
veterans
That-
one.
You've got the Legionaries
That
in there, which you
model's
can
so
join,
good.
or you can
It
join his
is.
chosen
That lord
elite
is so
bodyguard.
fucking rad.
You've got that anviled hammer unit with the Terminators to control the board. They're not quite as fast, so you're probably going to have to spend a little bit of time getting there, but you don't die with those quickly, sir.
Drop them into the heart of the enemy and slaughter them wholesale.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So either one, very different playstyles, but you can enjoy them both. So.
Yeah, and they complement each other as well. So, why not get both?
So there we go. We've got 2 exciting new battle forces coming up very shortly for you guys. Stu, Josh, it's been an absolute pleasure talking about those. Thank you so much.
All right, next
What
reveal.
a way to start. And
So
that's
this is
not
all
the
just,
only
like,
thing from the
pre-recorded now.
41st millennium.
Yeah.
Kind of liked it better when it was
So don't
live.
go anywhere, 40k fans. There's
Yeah,
plenty
but
more where that
this
came
isn't
from.
bad. I kind of dig
Next
this.
up, we're traveling deep within the mortal realms.
It has less personality.
All right, so that's it for 40k.
Yeah, man, they're going hard on just
That's what else?
treat me in 40k.
Yeah.
Making a kill
really
team
light.
box for me. Talking about Night Lord siege forces. What was this? Ossiarch Bone Reapers versus Sylvaneth?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah. Look at them bone dogs.
Look at the bone dogs!
That guy's cool.
I do like the bone centaur.
Briar and Bone.
So there we go. Warcry, Briar and Bone is on the way real soon. You can almost smell it on the air. My name's Nick, and joining me is John from the Warhammer Studio.
Oh.
John, Warcry, Briar and Bone. Tell me all about it. What we got?
Okay, so very, very exciting box set. We've got brand new bespoke warbands, both the Ossiarch Reapers and the Sylvaneth. In addition to which, we've got the Ravening Narwhal, which is a giant, horrible creature. It's pretty, really cool. It's a really, really nasty, horrible piece of terrain, which we'll get to in a little bit. So the Tyrannic cohort are a bit of a...
I guess AOS is probably going to be the big
because they're
thing
The
for
last
this one.
reveal.
construct. So
Yeah.
the thing is, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers is very, very.
It still might tease something 40k related at the end, but
And sometimes the purpose
this is
of
definitely
Well, we've
good.
killed
got
team,
a
right?
fourth
So each
edition.
of the creatures.
We-
in the Tyrannic cohort, in
do we
addition
have Kill
to
Team?
the Centaurs,
I think
I
we
think
have
Kill
Kill Team.
Team's in there, yeah.
are
We
creatures
talked
who
about
are
Kill
being
Team.
punished by the
Yeah.
Ossiarch Bone Reapers, some kind of perceived failure. So we all know that the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, never flee, never retreat, win all the battles all the time. Well, that's just
Yeah, they're Necrons. We get it.
every now and again something doesn't go quite
Definitely
right.
my case, yeah.
And either it's somebody's fault, at which point you're to blame, or today it's your fault, so you're to blame. So what you end up with is a group of very fast, very mobile outriders, and part of the exile is they don't want you around anymore. Okay, so these creatures get sent out into the very, very outer wilds of the various different mortal realms. And in this instance, this particular warband has ended up in the Narwood because no one really wants to go in there. And the Ossiarch Bone Reapers are already starting to twitch a little bit because of the vast amounts of beast bone that they'll be made from. And these are no exception. So they're crazed, ferocious, feral, but they've also got a certain element of clinical, death-like emotionless about them as well. So they're
I wish I
more
liked the
powerful.
Bone
It's very,
Reapers more.
And the models are fantastic.
I don't. I
models are very,
can't.
very cool.
Something about their style is just really
They're
off-putting.
too.
Yeah,
they're
that's
too,
effectively
like-
the hook there is with the eyes of Catacross. So
I don't know what it is.
Bone
They're
Cross.
like too Yu-Gi-Oh or something.
That's a good way to put it. They are very
I don't
Yu-Gi-Oh.
know why that is so accurate, but it is very accurate.
Yeah. That guy belongs on a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah, I could see him being led by Summoned Skull.
Which doesn't exist in other warbands across
You
the
know,
world, right? Which is quite cool. So we're trying to investigate different ways of applying
Yeah, that's
resources that everyone's familiar with
very
in very
accurate.
different ways. So what they get to do is they get to spend wild dice when they're using their abilities.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Kit Bash 40k material here, though. I bet if you painted some of those Bone Reapers silver, they'd make pretty bomb Necrons.
That's very much
Yeah.
their
That'd be a
shtick, as it
good-
were.
good,
They're
like,
quite powerful
Cryptek
individually,
Destroyer or
and
whatever,
certainly
the
two
three-legged
bodyguards
guy.
and the Centroid are
Oh, the
very
Scorpic Destroyer, yeah.
decent fighters
Yeah.
overall. The other fighters in the warband, the Bone Beasts and the
I like
Harpies,
those
they're
bone
not quite
bats.
so powerful, but obviously they make
bone
them
harpies.
Is
very
that big
useful
thing in the
ability.
back, is that
And being able
a
to support your
monster?
fighters
Or is that a piece of terrain?
No, that's terrain.
That's part of the terrain, yeah.
As well, tasty.
Okay.
I mean, it could be both. Maybe it interacts with the game.
So their background is that each each and every one of them is infected. Okay, they are not regular Sylvaneth at all. They've
Yo,
got a
zombie
horrible
Sylvaneth?
infection, which is corrupting them from the inside out. One of the reasons they call it Twister is because the Alarial Song of Life, they hear it in a very, very different way. It's all corrupting, the strains are all very different, so they don't quite interact with it the same way. And what they're doing is they're trying to get back to Alarial, which they couldn't. So the Swarm Sage in particular has dedicated themselves to trying to cure the Twistblade of their corruption, and obviously expose themselves to it as well. And the danger is that you get cut off from the Song of Life completely, and you end up with this horrible, warped, twisted creature. And no one really knows what happens there. But what the Swarm Sage is effectively doing is easing out the corruption. Because the corruption's like, you can see it on the models themselves. And the Swarm Sage uses this little crazy swarm stuff to just chew.
The Sylvaneth models look pretty rad, though.
The corruption and literally.
I like
tear
Sylvaneth.
the
Sylvaneth are really cool.
It's rubbish.
I have a bunch of
They're all right.
There's power in that, because once the corruption is
Oh, yeah.
taken out of you, more energy.
They're a
so
fun
you're able to
little
hear that Song of Life a little bit better.
army
the
to paint
Warband
and build.
itself functions around the leader, dealing damage
Is that
to your
a,
fighters.
does he have a
in order to
beehive?
boost them up.
Oh, great.
The
Yeah,
bees!
Healing is a huge part of the
Not the
system.
bees!
But the actual playstyle of the Warband is, yeah, you want to go hit things, because that's part of Warcry, go stab things, profit. But at the same time, you need to
Go
manage
stab
the
things,
fighters. They're quite
profit.
fragile, very, very carefully, otherwise they'll fall over dead by the time you boosted them up.
Is it more difficult than it sounds, or is it about as difficult as it sounds?
It's not terribly difficult,
Okay.
because the damage that she deals to your fighters is locked behind abilities. So you need to have the abilities in order to be able to do it.
Okay.
So most of the time you're like, I've got my status, I've got my fighting stats, just like a regular game of Warcry. And where I go from there is I've got to decide who gets damaged when by the abilities I've got, and then obviously you can heal them up as well. Okay, and then the quad is pretty beefy as well. It can do a lot of damage. I think probably one of the most interesting things for this warband are the variety of different fighters. So you've got some corrupted dryads in there.
When did
which are
Geralt of Rivia get a
regular
job
dryads,
at
but again, they've got the horrible corruption. It's actually a lot stronger
GW?
and a lot tougher than a regular dryad.
That guy?
And
That's
you've also
Gerald
got
of
some tree
Stevia.
revenants in there as well, with a variety of weapons you've not seen before. So there's a tree revenant there with quite a large bow, and they've got a very interesting profile. Be very excited to see what they do with
Stevia.
that.
Yeah, that's
Because
Ger-
damage
that's
done in a
Gerald
very,
of
very different
Stevia.
way. Range damage, I should say, done in a very different way that we normally do it in Warcry. And then you've got some fighters who are actually quite tough for Sylvan.
He actually
fighters.
looks kind of
There's
like
some tough spy fighters in there
that
with
other
shields, which is quite
Witcher
good,
from
and
the
again,
TV
spear
show.
gives extra bit of reach. And
Yeah,
then, of
you're
course,
right.
There's
A little
the
To my
corrupted
memory.
spite revenants with the briar lash hand, which is particularly vicious if you get them.
I only watched the first season of that
Now,
show.
John, this box also comes with what must be my favourite terrain piece for Warcry for a long time, the Ravening Gnarlmaw. Tell me all about it.
Well, you've chosen a good one to be your favourite. It's one of the more creepy pieces I've seen so far. So the Ravening Gnarlmaw is a terrifying piece of kit. So it's like any other Gnarloak. It's a giant predatory flesh tree that burrows into you, drinks your blood.
Of course,
and
your
hangs
standard
you.
giant predatory flesh tree.
Place.
It's horrific. Now, these things are terrifying.
Bog
And the
standard
Gnarl-
giant
Gnarlwood
predatory
is full
flesh
of
tree.
them.
Yeah, you know.
And of course, the Gnarlwood is also full of just people who live there or around it. And every now and again, they get it into their heads that maybe they can kind of half tame one of these things. Now, that's impossible. It's a laughable concept. Taming anything in Gur is generally a very bad idea. So what they do is they kind of
bro,
tie it
looks
to
like
roots
a
down
younger
to make
Count
sure it doesn't
Dooku
move
is-
off too much,
is
or leave
accurate.
them in their sleep. And then they make it like a
Yeah,
sacrificial
yeah.
altar.
Specifically Count Dooku from the Clone Wars, though.
Doesn't really
Yeah,
need to
not
go
Christopher
anywhere
Lee,
to feed.
specifically Count
It
Dooku.
kind of turns into one of these things. It's one of the
Yeah.
many different creatures this thing can spawn out of. Because obviously the magic in the realm can twist things in all kinds of horrible manners.
He's got that.
So
he's
effectively
almost
what
got
people
that
will do is
chisel
they'll go,
beard
okay,
going.
as long as we feed you,
Yeah, the like
you
triangle
just
pointy
scare
beard.
off all the other Gnarlokes, and maybe eat whatever isn't us. Now, the Gnarlok has
Yeah.
absolutely no
He looks like
connection
Dooku
to
from,
it. It's fed every day, so it's just
oh, what was Tales of the Jedi? Was that
Yeah,
the?
Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah.
chuck people into the maw, kick people, and then you can do that during the game as well, which is obviously tons of fun. You know, you got to be really careful if you're standing up. But you know, it provides a bit of interesting. It provides players an interesting question when they're playing the game. That okay, so it's a platform, it's high up, it's a vantage point, it's quite a useful place to be. And if there's an objective up there, there's a treasure token or something, you really want to go up there. You got to be quite careful. You don't just move up there, pick up the treasure, and then end your turn, because otherwise, you know, in comes the clothesline and over you go and you're dead.
John, thank you so much for talking to us about Warcry, Briar and Bone. Thank you guys too, but stay around, there's more on the way.
Whoa, there's more on the way. Whoa, what is that? Underworlds. Winter Maw. Oh, look at that guy.
It's an Iron Maiden.
Oh,
That dude. What's he doing?
whoa. What's that guy? Whoa! Wait, I want those guys. What are those?
Yeah, those guys look wild, man.
Oh, those guys are flesh eater quartz.
Yeah, they're flesh eater.
Yeah.
Is that guy Cities? Is that a Cities model?
There's no way.
He's got to be, right? Like all his dudes are just little. They're just humans.
What else would it be, right?
Yeah. That guy's got to be Cities. That's crazy.
So there we go, the new Warhammer Underworlds box is just over the horizon. My name's Nick, and I've got John with me from the Warhammer studio to talk all about it.
Wait, we just said bye to John.
Good to have you here, man.
Hi, John. Oh, hi, John.
So Wintermaw is the next evolution in the story.
Wait, that's
of
Gerald.
Deathgorge. So Deathgorge was a large ravine, and now what happened is we've gone beneath that again to even deeper underworlds.
It's even colder
We're now
down
under
there.
the underworlds. Yeah, it's absolutely awful down there. No one's.
Man, now we're under the
Death
underworlds.
World.
It's
Go
miserable,
deeper
horrible.
Actual underworlds literally
There
took
are
place in an
horrible giant
underworld.
worms trying to eat you
Yeah.
alive. There are.
Yeah, we're in a place called the Death Gorge. Let's just keep going deeper. It can't get worse, right?
So, it's just terrible. And obviously we've got these poor unfortunates
Yeah.
here who are right bang in the middle of it.
What do you think's gonna be down there? More death?
No, not even.
A winter maw, apparently.
Faith and absolute craziness to keep them warm. So their delusions are keeping them well toasty.
So, of course, it's the new season box. It's
Yep.
perfect place to start playing the game, of course.
Unquestionably.
And also great for people who already play the game as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's something here for everybody. If you're a current fan of Warhammer Underworlds, you've got 2 brand new war bands, you've got a stack of Rivals decks in there as well, loads of different play styles, loads of cool new mechanics to engage with. And if you're brand new to the game, again, it's absolutely perfect. You've got everything in there you need to play the game. You've got your rule book, you've got war bands, you can play against somebody else. They don't even need to get their own
Kinda
box set.
looks
You can
like,
just play
what
the same one.
thing?
And they've all got Rivals decks. There's plenty of
Frosthaven.
like replayability in there as well. You can swap Rivals decks around. You can
I don't know
do
anything
Nemesis,
about
you can do
Frosthaven.
Rivals, whatever you like. So loads to get started.
Nor
We've got
Gloomhaven.
to talk about the miniatures in this box because they
oh yeah.
are
It's
just
got-
brilliant. There's 2
got grid
brand new
boards
war
like
bands
that.
in here. Tell us about them, John. What we got?
So where would you like to start? Would you like to start with the delusional Flesh Eater Courts or the arguably just as delusional Brethren of the Bolt?
We'll start with a slightly more delusional one.
Brethren
Slightly
of the
more
Bolt.
delusional ones. All right,
Yeah.
so we'll go for the Flesh Eater Courts. So this particular warband, their whole shtick is walking up to enemy fighters and whacking lumps off them with their massive cleavers and chains and hooks and all the rest of it, and preparing the meat in the perfect way to serve their lord. And they're broadly speaking an aggro-style warbands. What that means for people who don't understand the term is they're all about getting stuck up in your face and shanking you with all the horrible rusty cleavers and spikes that they've got attached to themselves. And the way this warband functions, which is very different, is that there's no recursion. People don't come back to life. So ordinarily what would happen is as soon as you kill a ghoul, 3 more to replace them. However, these are all very, very highly trained chefs, right? They're the absolute peak of their art.
I want to play the
They're
chefs.
not very easy to replace. And as a result, you only get what you start with.
Okay,
wanna
so
be a
they sound
ghoul
absolutely
cook?
disgusting, but
Yeah.
on the other side of the board,
Dude,
Brethren
I'm.
of
Golden
the
Ramsey.
Bolt.
Correct.
It's taken everything in me to not start a Flesh Eater Quartz army.
They're part of the Cities of Sigmar faction. Broadly speaking, they're all human.
Did you hear
I
what
mean,
I
you need
said?
one for the channel, don't you?
Mileage may vary.
No, I didn't. What did you
And
say?
They are
I said
effectively.
you
said you
wanted
need one for the-
Golden
worshippers of
Ramsey.
Sigmar. They're the crazy flagellants.
Golden
side of
Ramsey.
things. However,
That's good.
They have a
That's
very,
good.
very unique alignment in the sense that they've all
You
been
didn't
in some way,
laugh,
shape,
but I
or
didn't
form
think you
struck
heard
by
me.
lightning.
I didn't.
Now, some of them believe that they were intentionally struck by Sigmar's
Now I
lightning. Some of them
Miss
were
what
just
faction
by
he said these guys are.
but they've all got some kind of interaction with the Azerian heavenly divine
Did they?
in some way, shape, or form.
They all
And
got hit by
they
just
do
call
a
them
couple of unique things.
Azir.
There's 2 really big ones that I'd like to touch on in the time we've got, which is that the first one is they all start inspired because they start with this kind of etheric charge attached to them. Every time they blast you with their divine tasers, what happens is all that charge goes out of them, nukes whatever's in front of you, and then all the lightning goes away. At which point they need to be recharged. So what happens is, as you fight through, you can fight through your fighters. So
What
which
the
can
hell?
increase the range of your melee attack actions, which is really, really good. So it means you're never really quite safe as the opponent. You've really got to play around them very carefully. But effectively, whenever you tase an enemy through one of your friends, they inspire again and they get charged up, which is great. They're a lot of fun to play. They're quite hilarious. Some of the cards are very funny too, and they're really cool.
So
Interesting.
the Wintermore box doesn't just come with those warbands, it also comes with 2 Rivals decks that anyone can
sounds
use
cool.
for any warband. Tell us about those.
You can
Yeah,
like
they're
So
rad.
yeah, so again, really good attempt
conduit
to get the box out.
your
if you don't
lightning
even collect
through
these
your
warbands.
friends.
Divine tasers. I do love the idea of divine
So we start with
tasers.
White, which is effectively an environmental disaster deck. So these horrible giant worms just come plowing through the
Shai
board,
Hulud?
devour everything in their path. And what the deck allows you to do is not necessarily manipulate them, but effectively get out of the way
Looks
first.
like it.
Now, there's a second Rivals deck in there as well called the Hungering Parasite deck, which is really unique, isn't it? How's it work?
Okay, so the Hungering Parasite is a tiny little fragment of the God Beast Krakatoa, which is this horrible big amorphous glob goo thing. And this tiny little fragment is frozen off and broken. So it's this tiny little bit of a gobbeast that's scuttling around. And effectively, it's just this frozen chunk. And then whenever something living gets near it, it thaws just enough to just latch onto it. The deck is designed towards, it's a really control style deck. You've got to manipulate the position of either the fighter with the parasite, be it yours or your opponent's, or you've got to kill people with the parasite, or you've got to make sure the parasite's in the right place at the right time. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds it.
Because obviously your fighter's uninspired, so they're just not good. They're probably.
I feel like this would be
never
more
gonna get
interesting
much
if I knew
better
anything
throughout
about the
course of
game, but I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
I don't
at the end of the
What
round,
they're
if there's no
talking
one-
I've got no clue.
Okay,
I
so
will
if
say I
there's
do
no
kind of
nearby,
agree
they'll
with
get
chat.
damaged,
Why are they
which is
showing guys?
and if
Show us
there's no
more
enemies
minis.
nearby, then
You know.
fight
Yeah,
the parasite
yeah.
does damage.
Okay.
Which would eventually kill them.
John, thank you so much for coming to talk to us about Warhammer Underworlds Wintermore. It's been great to look through the box set, but keep with us, guys. There's
Thanks,
more
John.
coming.
We'll see you again in a minute.
Bye, John.
Some
Bye, John.
fantastic releases there, and that's not the only announcement we'll have for
You're not
Warhammer
John.
Age of Sigmar during the show either. What could it be? I hear you cry. Well, more on that later.
Who knows?
Until then, check these out.
Yo,
It's the old world.
the fuck is that?
What was that?
This is Age of Sigmar,
Oh.
but it's gonna be a fucking dope model.
Is it Age of Sigmar?
Yeah. Did you not just see the giant Age of Sigmar logo?
No, I looked away.
Oh.
Although that thing
I mean-
is dope as hell.
Yeah.
You can
That's fucking
you can
cool.
use that in Old World.
Their darkest day dawns.
Holy shit, that's like a better Carcadrake.
Oh, wow, what a miniature. Abraxia, Spear of the Everchosen. We are joined here by Matt and Phil from the Warhammer Studio, guys. Pleasure to have you with us to talk about this great new miniature. Phil, I'll start with you. Abraxia, who is she?
She is none other than the right-hand woman of Archaon Everchosen. This woman is in control of the Varangard. That is no small feat because, of course, every member of the Varangard is a Chaos Lord or above. And so she has essentially got incredible martial power. She's been tasked with striking into Gyran and snuffing out the flames of hope that Sigmar has established there. Now, she has a spear, Gorbolgo, which is like essentially a mutating spear. Anything touched by that will turn into an awful Chaos Spawn. It will also mutate
cool.
her unless she keeps the
God, that
range,
model
she
is so
keeps her
sick.
concentration.
I wanna use that in
She had a
40K.
lapse of concentration, horn screw out.
I
don't know what I would
Probably
use it
make
for.
Lord,
You could probably make a pretty sick.
Oh, Disco Lord, yeah.
Disco
Very
Lord,
dangerous
yeah.
stuff. To see if she's worthy of the role. And she's riding the Thanatorg, this great
I
scaly
might-
beast.
I might make a
She
Disco Lord
hits
out of
like
that.
A ton of
I might
bricks,
fucking
and behind her
take
come
that
the
idea
Swords of
too.
Chaos himself.
No, you're not allowed.
That's so cool. So the inner core of the Varangard, don't they? This was
Absolutely.
For
yeah.
my
We
Night
see
Lord
her
Siege
essentially
Force.
Cutting a red's way through Gyran.
Why isn't your Disco Lord a
Doesn't go
tank?
all her way. She unfortunately contracts something
point.
rather
Everything
nasty in the
needs to be a
process
tank.
from the fleshy-eater curse.
like
In a
a
siege
basic
force,
tank,
everything needs to be a tank.
flesh-eaters.
Everything?
Deal with that
Everything.
part, yeah.
All your infantry,
Although that-
tanks.
Place, but no spoilers.
That looks
You
a
have to
lot
wait
better
for
bigger
it.
than a Disco Lord, though, isn't it?
Minor spoiler.
I'd have to see it, but it doesn't look significantly bigger.
Yeah.
than
keep on top of her spear, can't it?
Well,
might- you
indeed.
probably
Well,
could
that's the
fit it on a
journey. We-
Disco
you know,
Lord
right
base.
from the get-go, we see a
Yeah.
character that is really
a
having
little
to
finagling.
keep the balance and hang on.
Probably have a little overhang,
for
but
dear
like
life.
the normal Disco Lord has a little overhang
Whether she
too.
makes
So
it through, whether she has the willpower and the skill, you'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, quite overt price of power. And,
Yeah. Well, it's
love it.
Archaon's world, so
yeah.
this is the big.
That
leagues.
might get added
She,
to my
you know,
D&D boss.
As you can
list
see when
of
you see her on the
Age
battlefield.
of
as
Sigmar
well.
minis.
So speaking of which, she
My
comes as
goodness.
part of Abraxia's Varan spear, so it's her and 3 Varangard. That sounds devastating. How does she play on the battlefield?
Yeah, so obviously, given her
Show me
role on the
minis.
battlefield, kind of as the head of the Varen Guard,
Yeah, they're
she has
doing a lot
very,
of
very
game talk
strong
this
time.
synergy, particularly very strong command synergy with Varen
the
Guard.
city's models
So,
still look sick.
Really,
Yeah.
cool seeing that.
All these
As
models
Phil
look so
talked
good.
About her kind of mutating spear
Yeah.
that can have a risk for
I need to
herself,
start
can
my
power
city's
up,
army.
can kind of do
Cities
damage
of
and
Shanmar.
mutate nearby enemies. But
Yeah,
it's really
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
synergy.
Cities
with
of
Varen Guard
Sean.
where you're really getting that big value.
Sig Sully.
She's
Shawnees
also,
Shawnees of Sigmar.
Abraxia with
Shawnees
Battle
of
Varen
Sigmar.
Guard in her army of renown.
Sean of Sean.
And that gives you a whole new host of
Sean.
tricks, to
That's me.
build.
Can we go
and
deeper?
play with
No.
an army that is one of the most elite armies, if not the most.
We don't
elite
want to get
army
as unhinged
in all of
as
Age of
unhinged as
Sigmar,
Monday.
Really focusing in
All right,
on
listen.
the Varen Guard.
That was our best stream ever.
Absolutely
If you missed
Yeah.
it, go watch Monday's stream.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
thanks for
have a
joining
few
us,
shots
Phil,
for
if you
you.
don't mind hanging around, we've got.
Then you'll be on our
very
level.
shortly. So
At least a
hang
little
around,
bit.
there's more to come.
We didn't take shots before the stream.
You wouldn't be convinced of that if you watched it, though.
Story arc, we've seen two crusades, the twin-tailed crusade we call it, head out from Hammerhal Aksha, and Hammerhal Gairan, and they have had so many trials and tribulations over the course of this storyline. We've seen them rise and fall,
such a
have
rad
moments
model.
of triumph, and moments of real tragedy.
Are you going to get a Shandic war for your army?
Hammerhal Aksha is the crusade.
It was
heading
Age of
out.
Sigmar Grimdark?
They think they found somewhere there that is viable, that they
Yeah.
can defend, which is the ruins of an old city called
It's all
Embergard.
Grimdark.
And it's kind of like a haunted place.
Sure hasn't been
They had
before.
a lot of trouble with nasties in the basement, the Night Haunt that dwelt there, but they have now managed to claim that space.
I don't think that's a
Sinestra
bad thing.
And the Cult of the Wheel have taken that place with conviction and faith. Now in Gairan, we've seen them thrash their way through jungles and forests, scabrous sprawl, swamplands, mangroves. They've basically had a horrible time of it trying to get up north, who found their own city called Verdigris. Verdigris is looking
very
like
creative.
maybe that's going to work out, but we'll see what happens over the course of Dawnbringer 6. Abraxia, the Spear of the Everchosen, she is the right-hand woman of Archaon himself, the Supreme Grand Marshal of Chaos, and she's part of the Varangard. The Varangard are like elite Chaos Lords.
What a rad title, the Supreme Grand Marshal of Chaos.
Her way up from the fighting pits of the Varanspire.
That's how you know you've made it. And the benefits, the 401k matching is just
has no
unparalleled.
morals at all about who she kills and when she kills.
Health insurance?
She is a real
Top tier.
fearsome character. The only catch here is that
It includes
Archaon
dental and
doesn't
optical.
trust her and
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
wants to test her. So he's given her the spear called Bolga, this magic spear, and although it mutates everything it touches,
You already
See?
told us
all
all
you need to do
this.
is scratch your enemy, and then they devolve into a horrible spawn thing.
Yeah, they
And
kinda
also do that to the
do it
wielder
redundant.
if the wielder loses their concentration. That did happen once in Abraxia's history, and that's why she has those horns. Is it only took a momentary lapse of her concentration, and she started to mutate. So with that spear,
Alpha says
mutation
AOS
every
is
now
the
and
best looking
provided
models
she stays
in
in
all
control,
game
as
modes
long as she
GW does.
Things are
Yeah.
peachy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
that's
she cannot
pretty hard to
afford
agree.
fail. So
I
don't know
agree,
why
but they
they're
also have
right
some of the
at
worst.
Top end, the higher echelons of the Chaos power struggle.
I think
Right,
the only
so
ones that are
bottom
really
there
bad
the
are
tribes
like the
of
old
basic
fantasy
people.
ones.
So like you and I who are trying to get by out in wilderness
Yeah.
and the Dark Oath, exemplify that. They make bargains.
Oh,
with
yeah,
dark
these guys
powers,
look really
Oh,
rad.
those are cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
they
Brandon's
previewed
family
these a
are
couple
a
weeks
great
ago.
example of that.
Oh
So
yeah,
Gunnar
yeah, yeah.
Brand
I shared the
himself is
picture
not
of
just
this,
a
didn't I?
big
Yeah, these
fighter,
are
I think
he's
so,
fucking
yeah.
powerful in combat, but he's
Finally
also
making
kind of the brains of the
good-looking
operations,
marauders.
very clever dude.
That
He
blacksmith,
doesn't
I think,
want
is going to be
see
my
his
next D&D
family slide
character.
into chaos.
Hell
Neither
yeah.
does he want
Hell
to
yeah.
particularly kowtow
One
to
with the bull
Sigmar.
helm and the helm
Like
and
all
the
Dark Oath,
hammer.
he's got a massive
That
chip
one.
on his
guy.
shoulder about the fact that Sigmar
Yeah.
basically bailed on them.
Guys will
and
see
they
this
had
and
to
say,
resort
"Hell
to
yeah."
these dark methods to survive. He's got his daughter Singri with him as an expert horse archer. Tanari Takblood is his rival, the War Queen. Now, unfortunately, it's not that simple if you're enthralled to chaos. He
Sorry,
starts
I keep
getting
yawning.
involved in the
You look at them
Archaon's
Skaven?
grand plan and the pawns that are
Look at
moving
those
around
little
the board,
boys.
and some hidden forces that are lurking in the shadows that are also effectively using the Dark Oath as pawns. So running parallel to this story, we also see some old friends, Vandus Hammerhand and Korgos Kol, the mighty Lord of Khorne, his nemesis. Now these are characters we brought into play at the beginning of the Realmgate Wars, many years ago, 8-9 years ago now. It's gone from a
Yeah.
essentially
Almost
a
every
small vendetta
AOS
to
model is a
an
perfect
all-consuming
D&D
passion
mini.
For Vandus Hammerhand.
Yeah.
All he wants is to get his revenge on Kull. Kull killed his sons in a former life.
That's how they
back
get
when
you.
He was mortal, and
That's how they
he's
get me all the
definitely
time.
Obsessing about it now.
I don't
Kind
even
of
play
bringing things
AOS.
off kilter and actually maybe splitting the crusade.
How many
and
AOS
splitting the
models do you
loyalties of
have?
the people that should be united
A
in the
lot.
face of chaos. To pursue his own
Not
agenda.
as many as 40k,
Now,
but a
Korgos
good
Kull,
number.
all he needs to turn into a demon prince is that last skull to
Is that a chaplain? Looks like a 40k chaplain.
Looks like a chaplain.
That'd be it. He would actually probably make a pretty dope Dark
and it
Apostle.
doesn't go the way you
Yeah.
think it might.
Or,
so I'm looking forward to people
or,
seeing how that story,
Master of
that
Executions.
ancient rivalry.
Yo,
actually
is this a
bears
Mo
in
proxy?
Dawnbringers.
That's a Mo proxy.
Dawnbringers is
It's
not
got the
only
corn logo already.
ending an era, the era
Yeah.
of the beast, where we've seen destruction in the driving seat.
Are you an
We
Italian
see
living in
that
Italy?
come to an end in Dawnbringers, but we also see the beginning of a new era.
What?
And there are signs.
Oh,
for
Ryan's
those
missed
who are
all the
paying
memes.
attention Of what that might be.
Oh,
and
no.
where that might lead.
You gotta spend more time on
a personal
Reddit.
level as well. So Vandus is a good example
I
of
spent
that.
enough
He is
time on
not his,
Reddit.
his former self, and his journey. He's almost exemplary of what the Stormcast have to deal with as they die and are reforged and die and are reforged, and their souls pay the price over time. So
Sigmar
where his
line.
journey leads is really interesting, and we'll open a new chapter of the story as a result of that. So one of the great things about the Dawnbringers series is we've seen people on the ground, boots on the ground story, But throughout that, there have been little happenstances and agendas and clashes where a greater story is unfolding. And it's been done in secret, it's behind the scenes, because the people orchestrating that story, and I'm talking gods here, and demigods, are not keen on showing their hand.
Everything's a 40k proxy.
This great climactic explosion of violence. Of course, it does.
Yo, Bloodthirster as a Bloodthirster proxy, maybe?
Same again.
Crap.
So that was a fantastic video showing off.
What have you missed? Warhammer 40k 11th edition,
No problem.
Age of Sigmar 5th edition.
Twin Tail Crusade 7, Hammerfall and Hammerhall Gyra. They faced
Age of Sigmar Overworld.
Where they are.
That's fair.
Overworld.
Sort of summarize what the Dawn story has brought us so far.
Yeah, so we've seen
very quickly
two Crusades, and by
new Chaos Lords, Chaos Lord Jump Pack, Standard Chaos Lord, 2 Battle Force boxes launching with that Codex, some cool looking Underworld stuff and Warcry stuff, Bone Reapers and Sylvaneth.
But unfortunately, as is the way
and
of
then
Warhammer, and
the
way of
AOS stuff
Warhammer,
they're showing now.
not gone smoothly.
Oh yeah, Flesh Eater Courts and the Wizard Man.
I
I think it's cities. I think that guy is a cities guy.
New characters there. We've got
Taser dudes with chains.
Divine tasers.
About her backstory.
Divine
I've not seen her
tasers, yeah.
before.
We discussed a little bit about how she's the preeminent warlord of chaos and the leader of the Varan
This
Guard.
badass miniature.
Archaon's right-hand woman. She grew up in the fighting pits of the Varan Spire, the 8 Points. So this is a kind of a sub-realm where chaos rules. It's Archaon's seat of power. And she was born there, she grew up there, and she has had a very bloody history from day one, from being an infant really, all the way up to her current incarnation. She's had to strive to overcome all the chaos tyrants and rivals and would-be kings. And she's risen to the top. She really is that good, to the point that Archaon is testing her, essentially, and testing her as a general by giving her the most powerful stuff and the most elite troops. She better not fail.
We've seen
They're going to make me buy that model.
the Force of Order. This
Yeah.
feels like a culmination, and now we're seeing
For D&D?
chaos stamp its mark on the Twin
Yeah, I'm
Tail.
not building a Chaos Army for
Can you give
AOS.
us a
That's
little
crazy.
hint as to what the plan is.
See, I have a Chaos
Obviously,
Army for AOS
the Forces
already.
of Order have by
so-
no means overtaken the land.
Where
are they? Where are they, Ryan?
What they lost. Chaos is still very
Right
much
over
in the
there.
driving seat.
Oh my God.
Are they in a
forces of Sigmar,
shoebox?
The God King are trying to strike back. and
No,
they've made
they're in the
some
box
inroads,
top
some beach
from like Rhino
9/10
miniature, I
of the
think.
land is still in the Forces of Darkness, one way or another. So every time Sigmar tries to set something up, there's a Chaos Force nearby waiting to knock it down. And we've seen various incarnations of that over the years. But this is a real precision strike. This is Archaon sending out his brightest and his best to make a counter statement to say, no, you don't get to found 2 new cities. I'm going to destroy those. Everything you set up.
Sigmar
I'll knock
lied,
down.
dude.
So we're really seeing a battle effectively between Sigmar and Archaon here. But through
More
his
like
foremost general,
Sugmar.
through his champion. And she's a really interesting character.
Sugmar.
So you've mentioned that the Forces
Sugmar
of Chaos
dick.
everything that the Forces of Order have attempted to build. Now, in this book, there's mention of the Nexus.
What the hell is Goblin
Information
mode?
about what that is, because I think that's relevant to this.
I love that thing. It's just so metal. Essentially, this is a kind of like a power siphon, a chaos engine, really. And where they place these things, much like the Dawnbringers are trying to put their Nexus siphons and their aquiliths and essentially drain the land of the magical force or employ the magical inherent force of the realms. The chaos version is
I want that thing.
corrupting and twisting
What is
and
going on?
bleeding
Yeah.
the
In the middle.
realms dry, and that's what we see in this.
I want
form.
that thing though.
So any wizard, any sorcerer,
I mean,
any
that's
sorcerer
just
near
straight
that
up a
can draw
knockoff
on the
crown.
power from the Nexus Chaotica.
That's what that is.
It's like another sign that
You know what,
chaos
you're
is
right.
striking back.
Well, that was fantastic.
Noctilith crowns are
Lots to
actually
look
pretty
forward to
huge,
there.
aren't they?
Thank you very much for joining me, Phil.
No problem.
They're
And for
big,
everybody at
yeah.
home,
I mean,
there's
that
some
thing
more
looks
fantastic
big, though.
reveals coming.
Yeah.
More fantastic
reveals.
Now we are cooking. Another set of absolutely awesome releases and some really
Kill
insightful
Team?
stuff from the
Gold
studios
World?
Cooking?
on what's to come.
Age of
Very
Sigmar?
exciting stuff. Now, time for a little teaser.
Imperial
and
Agents?
Another reveal.
A little
teaser
teaser.
and reveal. 40K?
Is that Admech?
What was that?
Yeah, this is
Necromunda?
Mechanicum. This is Heresy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Mechanicum for Heresy. So that's the
Well,
tease.
Alex, I may be no lore master, but I'm pretty sure I could put 2 and 2 together based on what we've just seen. Or maybe that should be 1 and 0 because it's binary.
Indeed, there were some fantastic clues there, including
What a
one
cheeky
big red one.
bugger.
Yeah, and of
Yeah.
course, if you reckon you know what it is yourself, why not join us on social media?
Man, I wonder what it could be. What could it possibly
Head
be?
over to Warhammer
could it
community
be?
for
What
I
could that
have no
shot of
idea.
Mars mean?
Look at that shot of Mars and the Mechanicum skull. What could that possibly be? Hey, there's the dwarves.
Yo!
Oh,
I said it was gonna be dwarves, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You did.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Yo, look at those in. Oh my god.
Did you not know that Old World Wars had helicopters?
Oh, I did.
Yo, the goblin.
Whoa! Look at that. Oh shit.
I didn't think they were gonna bring back the goblin viewer. Fucking Bugman. Hell yeah.
look at that.
These guys are so cute, dude. Holy shit.
Dang, dude. Do I make dwarves instead of wood elves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we could be mortal enemies.
Holy shit. I mean, the wood elves and orcs are not exactly friends to each other.
Yeah, but they're not mortal
Yo,
enemies.
god damn, look at that fucking...
Woo! Look at that guy.
I like that Slayer guy. That's a new model, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, where's that as a AOS Fire Slayer, right?
Holy shit. Yeah, this is
So,
tempting me.
we've just seen a fantastic video showing off some beautiful models for the Dwarven Mountain Holds. So
Beautiful.
these guys are getting some attention now in the old world. Thank you guys for joining me. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Dwarven Mountain Holds and how they play?
So what we've seen is a whole bunch of classic miniatures that are going to be coming back to the range. I know a lot of Warhammer players are very excited to see some of these miniatures come back, but we've also just had a very gentle teaser of some of the new stuff that might be coming alongside.
What happened to
some of
it?
the bits and bobs we've got going on with the Dwarven Mountain.
You
Holds.
swap it?
Brilliant. So we saw
I
warriors,
sold it to a good
Longbeards.
friend. You
Yeah,
might
we
still
saw
have
some
it,
Thunderers
actually.
and Quarrelers. We saw Warriors. We saw
It was actually
Longbeards.
painted also.
The other things that we've seen in there, we've seen some of the Slayer units. We've seen our Goblin Hero returning. We've seen our Doomseekers coming back, and championing the Slayers. We've also seen a brand new miniature that I imagine we'll dive into in a little bit.
We also saw some range there with the cannons, and just in that last shot there with the whole army, we saw the Anvil of Doom in the background.
Yes, yeah. Dwarf players will rejoice at the return of the Anvil of Doom, I'm sure.
The what?
Boosting and bolstering the
Anvil of
Dwarven lines
Doom,
and
you,
sort of
like,
smiting
forge
the
runes
to
on it?
Have a go at the enemy
Shit.
as well. And no Dwarven line is complete without some artillery.
Oh, of course. What sort of artillery can we expect? Because we've seen some of them in the Forces of Fantasy.
So we've got the classic bolt thrower and grudge throwers returning. Any traditional dwarf worth their salt will be happy to see
Grudge
those
thrower,
returning.
hell yeah.
Then we've got some of the newfangled things. We've got cannons and organ guns returning as well. So even those younger, more sort of up-and-coming engineers who like their black powder will be happy to see them coming back.
So in the
Give
Forces
me
of Fantasy,
space
you're
rats
always
in
able
the
to
chat.
bring, say, a gun line
that
or
flame
quite a
Space
static
rats.
force. They could move a little
Space
bit.
rats,
But what does
cheese
this,
stealer cults.
The range bring now? What other ways can we play Dwarven Mountain Holds?
Well, as you say, you've got your very traditional sort of gun line that we've seen in previous editions. Lots of thunderers and artillery sort of being arrayed on a hill and blasting away at the foe as they come. But you've got sort of the more dwarven traditional approach of relying on good old-fashioned technology that's worked for generations. You things, your quarrelers, and as I say, your bolt throwers and your grudge throwers, and just good old-fashioned dwarven steel. Sometimes there's nothing more satisfying than taking a well-made dwarven axe and applying it to some
Look at that
goblins.
big old saxophone horn thing.
Speaking of slightly older miniatures, I did notice a certain dwarf on a cart in that video.
Yes,
That dude
we
looks
do have the
awesome.
return of the Bugman's
That
cart.
horse
So,
looks awesome.
Obviously, one of the things we saw was a beautiful army shot at the end there, with everything ready to go. How would you go about starting a Dwarven Mountain Holds force? You know, what would you bring?
I wonder if
together
there's a
as your
box
core?
for it.
What might you add to that?
There's
army?
got to be a battle
So the
force.
backbone, the core of any
could
dwarf
be.
army is the warriors and the missile troops, be that handguns or quarrelers. Dwarves traditionally fight in shield walls, fighting with great weapons and their shields
That's a
interlocked
new
together,
model.
supported by dwarves
Yeah.
carrying
Yeah, it
crossbows
has to be.
and handguns, and all of this supported with lots of
Absolutely
artillery from
yoked.
very traditional dwarf artillery pieces
Yeah,
like the
go
bolt
on.
throwers, the grudge throwers, more modern war machines such as cannons and flame cannons, and less honourable.
You know, I
war
do
machines
already
such
have
as the Goblin
one
Hero.
Old World
All of
elf
this
army,
capped off and
technically.
supported by air
don't need
artillery
two.
in the form of gyrocopters and gyro bombers.
Only one
Some
knife
of
years
these are
army.
Quite new inventions. Some of these are quite old traditional things that dwarfs rely on.
The core box, that Dwarf Warrior box, how flexible is that? Because I remember in the past that, you know, you could build it with hand weapons, with great weapons. So How does that feature into the new army?
Oh, it's a very flexible kit, as it always was. As you say, it allows you to build dwarf warriors with hand weapons and shields, dwarf warriors with great weapons. The alternative kit, the missile troops, allows you to build them with dwarf handguns or crossbows. So again, very, very diverse kits that can be used to make warriors in different types. Also can be used to make rangers, can be used to make missile troops. Lots and lots of variety from just a few kits.
So these are the dual kits that are returning, the hammerers and longbeards, and the iron breakers and iron drakes.
Yeah, these are the kits
Iron
that represent the more elite
Drakes.
parts of your army. The hammers
Iron
being the
Drakes are
Thanes
fucking
and the
awesome.
king's personal bodyguard. The longbeards.
That's the,
being
like,
the
big
old,
flather
more
guys, right?
seasoned dwarves
Yeah,
who grumble their
I
way
fucking
through a
love
battle.
those guys.
They're very
Warhammer,
afraid of
total.
anything. The solid backbone of the army, the dwarfs who the young beardlings look to for leadership and inspiration.
You know, when protecting a king, we can't not mention that gorgeous new miniature. We've got a king on 3 dwarven warriors on a big old shield being carried around. What's it like working
His
with
axe
that?
hack
The new
haft
dwarf
is
king
bent
with shield bearers. This is
in that
it's a
picture.
stunning kit. Allows you to make a
Oh,
dwarf
is
king
it?
with shield
Yeah.
bearers and an alternate dwarf king or thane on foot.
I don't know if they'll show
the
it again.
astute watchers will have noticed that the shield is now borne aloft by 3 dwarfs, not 2, making it a far more large and impressive kit that takes up the space of 4 models within a unit, and looks absolutely amazing when ranked up amongst the hammerers, amongst their personal bodyguard. This is a kit that comes with a couple of different build options. You can have the dwarf king with a hand weapon and shield being borne aloft, and a thane on foot with a great weapon, or vice versa. You can change the components up and build it in a couple of different ways.
So obviously the setting of the old world is several hundred years before the reign of Karl Franz. Are there any returning characters we might expect, as dwarves are quite a long-lived race? So I can imagine there might be some people or names that we could recognise that are still alive, you know, now and later on.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, dwarfs are quite long-lived. So there's definitely going to be a few names that people will recognise from the old days of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. One character who I believe we saw there in the video was Ungrim Ironfist, and in our time period, he is the king of
Gotta crump him.
of the Slayerhold. And
Oh, is that
get
that's the
to look
miniature?
at him now as a
The
younger,
new
more,
miniature.
more vibrant, more active dwarf.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one. There's going to be a couple of other characters whose names will definitely be recognised.
There's got to be a Grombrindal.
Certainly taller.
I fucking
So,
love
some
Grombrindal.
Grombrindal!
all the models coming back,
Yeah.
and a couple of glimpses at some fantastic new ones. Thank you very much for showing us everything and for telling
Well,
us all
shit.
about them. Dan,
Grombrindal,
Jonathan,
the White Dwarf.
thank you for joining us. Our
Yeah.
pleasure. For
I
those
play
of
him
you
a lot
watching
in
at
Total
home,
War.
there's some more fantastic reveals coming up, so don't go
He's
anywhere.
just so angry.
Welcome back. Enjoying yourself? Good. Don't forget, you can let us know which releases you're most excited about.
He didn't even
by
give me a
hitting us
chance
up
to
on any
answer.
of our socials, and you can remind
Yeah.
yourself
Lewis
of
guy's
all
kind
the
of a
releases
jerk.
you've seen after the
He
show
fucking knew.
over on
He
the
fucking
Warhammer
knew.
Community website too.
Who invited
I know,
Lewis
you've seen
anyways?
enough of me, and I promised some more 40k action, didn't I? Well, let's dive back in with some more announcements and maybe even another little teaser too.
More 40k with a teaser?
Whoa!
Yo!
Yo! Yo! Did I say GSC kill team? Did I say GSC kill team? Yeah, baby!
Bro.
Botan.
Another Votan kill team. Interesting. Oh, that's the Hernkin on foot.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Those guys look pretty fucking rad.
Brood Brothers
I,
Sniper.
I like the more rugged.
Jaeger, that's what they're calling them.
Votan.
Yeah.
Beware. It's funny that box is Beware the Shadows, and the other box.
So
is
there we
the
go. The new Kill Team Battle Box is on its
Nightmare.
way. It's called Termination, and we've got Tom and Elliot
Termination.
from the Warhammer Studio to tell us all about it. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for joining us. So first of all, let's
Man,
have a look.
I called
at
it.
what
I called
we're doing.
dwarves.
These guys are pretty
GSC
awesome.
kill
It's
team.
set on Beta Decima by the look of it. Can you tell us about how the story's evolved since last time?
So you could say Beta
You
Decima's
win.
had a bit of a
I
tough
win.
time
I've
recently.
won
with
AdeptiCon.
The Gallowdark event. The Genestealer have taken over the whole planet. They've got orbital defense platforms and military bases and the capital city and things like that. And so the Jaegers are part of a larger fleet that is actually shadowing a Tyranid Hive fleet. And they have been following this Tyranid Hive fleet as it's been absorbing the biomatter of planet after planet. So they're allowing it to fatten up, filled with delicious advanced biomaterials and things like that. So they're waiting for the perfect
I don't know what
time
those,
to
like-
ambush this.
Are those like little
I was
had
just looking at
structures?
that. Yeah, they
And
look
so
like
the Jaegers have been
Votan
sent
hab
out in a scouting
structures.
ship
Those are cool.
to
I
see
like
where
those.
They're going and to make sure that there's a whole area of space where
really looked at
the
the
Legionaries
terrain
can
yet.
get to work without being interrupted by anybody else. Unfortunately, they fly
close to Beta Decima that seems to have gone through some tough times, and they are engaged by Gene Stealer controlled orbital.
They look like little hab blocks
that managed
or
to take them by
little
surprise.
hab
Yeah,
buildings.
I thought they were cargo first, but they've got that.
There's stairways that lead up to a door.
Well,
Yeah.
they look like cargo containers turned
the Gene
into
Stealer cult. So the Gene Stealer cult deployed
habitation.
their kill team to make
like
an
a 40K
example of
trailer
these
park.
interlopers.
So in terms of the Leagues of Votan, the Hernkin...
Gonna make a trailer park boys kill team now?
Pioneers riding around on their cool macro-coil bikes, right? What are the
That'd be
Hernkin
fucking
Jaegers and
hilarious.
how do they actually play in kill team?
So they're a brand new unit for the Leagues of Votan.
Those
like I
Warcraft's
said
look
before,
dope.
the Hernkin we've seen are the Pioneers, who are the ones on the bikes. These are the Jaegers. So they're still part of the Hernkin, but they have a slightly different role. Now, the Hernkin's primary role is the scouts. They're the
You know what
advanced
Jaeger means?
party
It means
of the Leagues of
hunter.
Votan, if you like.
They're
So
hunters.
they range ahead
It's
of the rest of the
crazy.
fleet
Yes, I
and
knew
the
what
rest
that
of the forces. They will identify locations of importance and drop markers or beacons or relay the information
Jägermeister means master.
back to the rest of their kin.
And also my
But
dog is called
sometimes
Jaeger.
they'll need to leave a presence there. And that's where the Jaegers come in. So the Jaegers are an incredibly self-sufficient commando.
Look at that rocket launcher.
Oh, there's
That's
that missile launcher.
that's the
That's
rocket that
missile
got
launcher.
teased a while ago.
by the
Yeah.
Hernkin. And then they'll conduct acts of sabotage, assassination.
insert-
That's the one that everybody
Leonardo
thought was going to be
extended
Steel
periods
Legion.
on their own.
Yeah.
With very
Insert
little
Leonardo
support or
DiCaprio meme.
reinforcement. So
Pointing.
when the rest of their kin arrive, they're effectively mopping up all the great work that all the Jaegers have done.
Wolf of
Whilst
Wall
they,
Street, I think
they
is
take
the-
it easy back on the ship, I suppose.
No, it's
but
from
yeah, they're
Once
really,
Upon a
really
Time in Hollywood.
self-sufficient and conduct sort
Oh,
of
is it?
guerrilla warfare
No.
type
I haven't
battles.
seen either of those movies.
That's their purpose. In the game, they have a lot of unique rules. So sort of a hybrid between extremely elite and more of the more numerous teams that sort of sit in the middle. One of the first things they do is they like to control the board. So they've set up their traps and their positions early, ready to ambush people, and so they have some funky ways of doing that. First of all, you can set them up further into the kill zone and get that early board space. And make that yours.
Infiltrators.
They also have a load of mines you can litter around the battlefield, so that you're really forcing your opponent to move specifically or otherwise take the damage from those mines, which is fun. And then they also have something quite unique called resourceful points, because they're very, very self-sufficient and flexible and adaptable, if you like. They can generate these points that you can then spend them to either heal some wounds if you start to lose some wounds, but you can also add one to their APL to do more actions, that kind of thing.
That's always nasty.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's really, really useful, and especially because it's reactive, so I can keep these points and then spend it the moment I need to, which is unlike a lot of other APL rules where you normally have to set it up and it's a bit more telegraphed. This is a little more reactive, which is quite nice.
Nice.
They've also got some really, really funky operatives that do some unique things. First, we got the tracker.
It's a crossbow.
It has these cool goggles and a crossbow
Yeah.
and a throwing axe.
Crossbow.
Oh yes, it gives this operative a real like woodsman hunter type feel, which is really nice. You've also got my favourite one, the bombast. This one has a rule called Rortlock negotiation. Which is named after its Rortlock revolvers. Negotiates with the revolvers.
And what
of
is
course,
this?
which is
Some
really
kind of
cool.
Warhammer 40,000
And that
kill
allows this
team?
operative to very, very start the turning point. Shots in before anyone else, which is really, really fun. So, you've got a Magna Coil rifle from your sniper.
Oh, look at that shovel pickaxe.
So overall, they're a really, really
Every
fun team that likes
Krieg
to fight
player
on,
on
their
the
terms.
planet is
Like I
jealous
said, whether
now.
that's they've set up the board for themselves and force you to go.
I think those are on
the.
the Hernkin bikes.
And then fighting a real.
think
I
it's
think
like
they're
one
like
that's
strapped to the
out.
bike. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as long as they're controlling the narrative and they're in control of the game, that's when they're going to
All
shine.
right, tell
the
me more
best.
about this Brood Brothers
so
team.
yeah, they're a really
Yeah,
fun team.
please.
So onto the Brood Brothers themselves. Now, they're
They're listening.
sub-faction of the Gene Stealer cults themselves. For those who don't know about it, would you
Like I
like
said,
to
I'm a
explain
professional.
more about what the Brood Brothers are?
Yeah, so the Brood Brothers are Astra Militarum Imperial Guard that have been, brought onto the side of the Gene Stealer cult. They are normally waiting in hiding within loyalist regiments. They can sometimes be, we've talked about in the background of this book, where they can sometimes be the most effective squad of an Imperial Guard platoon, for example, and the commander loves them until the day of revolution happens, and then they turn on their...
It's called the Day of Ascension. Get it right.
Loyalist companions.
Oh my goodness, you should be running the
this
stream.
particular Brood Brother squad.
Shit,
that we
those
want
look
to
so
capture is
good.
The most elite version of a Brood Brothers. They are veteran guardsmen who have.
I assume this means the
campaigns,
Brood Brothers
who have either
upgrade
been
sprue
Gene
is
Stealers all
coming
along,
back.
been in hiding, or they've been
Is
turned
your,
to the side of the Gene
guard army
Stealers.
you're building
So they
just
have
gonna
tons
be
of
Brood
combat
Brothers
experience. They use
secret?
lots of special weapons that the Imperial Guard uses.
No.
And they are the bodyguard squad for the Brood Coven. So they protect
No.
the highest leaders of the Genestealer
I'm
cult.
glad we have
join,
some
you know,
Armageddon
against
Steel
the
Legion,
White
perhaps with
Coalition.
an Inquisitor
Well,
coming into the
speaking of
sector
which,
to
we deal with
this.
the
No.
in the room. The Patriarch, that's going to be in the Brood Brothers kill team, isn't it? That's a terrifying.
It's kind of wild
name.
you could use a
I'm
Patriarch
kind of
kill
morbidly
team.
interested yet.
Yeah, that's a
Intimidated
big
to know
model.
more about it.
They're the scariest operative to date, for sure. So, we've had a lot of fun with this operative. It's quite costly. It costs you numerous other operatives if you want to take them. So, so effectively, you're going to have a choice each game whether to take the Patriarch or one of the other ones, which we'll talk about later. Double activation, they can activate twice, really fun. They can even mind control the opponent's operatives, which is...
Oh, they're bringing it back! They're bringing it back! That's 9th edition mind control, baby.
For sure.
We just start playing Kill Team again.
We've got those. We've got the
Sounds like
pages,
it.
Of course, a full-on dedicated site, really. And
I think I played like one game of Kill Team.
You've got a new bespoke made for you Kill Team.
Yes,
I've got a
Magus
new
is
bespoke
the
made for
spiritual
me
leader
Kill
of the
Team.
cult, so you have a lot more support rules from that.
You know,
it's also a very powerful site.
true.
So you got some
Can
cool
deal with
psychic
it.
unique actions to do.
I'll
And then
stay away from
Primus
Kill Team.
Is the strategic military mastermind of the cult. So that's going to give you
We'll get you.
extra CP,
What if there's a Death Watch Kill
influence
Team?
over initiative, which is really
There
important.
is.
Fun fact, Death Watch is made of kill teams.
Between those two,
Yeah, I know.
you've actually got quite a lot of flexibility on how you want to play them, depending on what your opponent's playing, that kind of thing. And then
I'm kind of shocked they haven't released a Death Watch kill team
squad effectively. So
Kill team?
if you don't want to play with
Kill team, yeah.
with one of the
Death Watch kill
Yeah,
team, kill
it
team.
seems like that would be like
extra operatives,
one of the first things they
they're
do.
more than worth doing as well because they have lots of really funky interaction rules between them, which makes this team quite a flex team. You can
Jarad
really change
says
how you want to play
y'all
them
should play
depending
Kill Team on the channel now for
what you want
sure.
that game.
Yeah,
so
chat.
what exactly do we have in the box?
You want us to play
So
Kill Team?
in the box.
How
you
much
get,
is it now?
These two
Yeah,
new
James
pieces
is
of
giving us
terrain.
gifts.
All the other terrain here is from the Killzone Beta Decima.
James is listening.
Get separately. Then
Look,
you've got,
I know I'm only
both
on
of
the channel,
teams.
like,
There's
3
quite a lot of
times a
models in
year.
here 'cause we've added the Brood
But
Coven
could
as
we
well.
play
So in
old
terms
Kill
of
Team?
models, it's one of the sort of heftiest model
Probably not.
amounts that you get.
Okay.
in
Yeah,
the
I
Kill Team
doubt
box.
Worth a shot.
You also then get card
I'll play
packs
old
for
Kill
each
Team
of
with
the
you for
teams
fun.
with data cards
As a
with
treat.
equipment
We can play it
cards,
for
all the sort of
funsies.
stuff you've seen in
Like
Salvation
Austria.
for the scouts and the
Don't tell Matt.
Scorpions. And then also a book with all of your missions, your background, team rules in there as well. Token sheets for both the teams. So the Jaegers
I'm just
get
still thinking
their
about the
minefield
dwarves.
tokens, which have blank sides as well, so you don't know which ones are real.
The
which
dwarves
ones
are
aren't.
sick.
So basically, all of the the best rules reference and stuff. We wanted to make sure people kind of get not just a book, but everything they could want in this box.
Well, that is Kill Team Termination. Thanks again for joining us, Tom and Elliot, and letting us know all about it. Sounds super cool. Can't wait for it. Keep your eyes out. It's coming soon. But before you go, we've got even more stuff on its way, so stick around.
Do you? Jesus. Necromunda.
Oh yeah. Yo, going deep.
That terrain's rad.
Yeah.
The expedition. Ooh. And
So that was
now
our second teaser trailer. It looks like we're heading back to Necromunda. What do you think, Si?
It does indeed, yeah. Necromunda's a big place, of course, so it could be set anywhere. Who knows? Who knows? And of course, some
We got
shiny
2
new
votes
miniatures
for
by the
Kill
look of it
Team.
as well. If you reckon you know the answers to these questions, folks, make
2
sure you
votes
join
for
us
Kill
on
Team?
social media. Let us
Shit.
know what you think.
And for more information, head to
Alright,
warhammercommunity.com.
we'll look into some Kill Team. We'll look into some AOS, we'll look into some
Cannot
Kill
believe
Team.
it. Even
Look
more
into some Old
fantastic
World. Look
announcements,
into some
even
Gorka
that
Morka.
teaser I promised as well. Who knew? Well, I reckon that's about it. Oh, I almost forgot. There is just
We're
one
gonna
more
get a
thing to
Christmas
show you.
crumpin' if we don't play
Enjoy.
Gorka Morka this year.
Christmas
We're putting on
crumpin'.
one more thing.
Oh my god, is it
One
Agents
more
of the
easy.
Imperium? Oh, it's AOS,
Oh.
of course.
Sigmar lied.
Yeah, he did.
We'll get wrecked.
Those are Zinch.
Zangors.
Yeah, those are Zangors.
Oh shit.
Get smoked, idiot.
Sigmar told us we were chosen. Warriors, stolen from death.
Yeah, that's the Stormcast Eternals, right? That's their whole deal?
Reforged
Yeah.
as his weapon.
Yeah.
He lied about Stormcast?
Yo, AOS is Grimdark?
They're like doomed to
Oh,
be
is
reborn.
this-
I mean,
Sons and daughters of the Storm God.
Is this the video game?
No.
no.
No way. Realms of Ruin is already out.
Okay.
It's been out for a while, and it's not good.
Yeah, the Stormcast are pretty brutal, like their backstory, but
yeah,
they just don't look grimdark.
So, I'm not a huge fan of AOS's story, but I would be a huge fan of like AOS thousands of years in the future when the Stormcast would just become completely just degenerated,
Like
jaded,
absolutely fucked. Yeah.
and like some of them have just gone fucking batshit crazy. Yo.
That looks Skaven-y to me.
Yeah, the bells.
Oh, there's the rats,
lightning.
baby.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And also the rats. That'll do it.
Yeah. Well, in that teaser thing they released a few days ago, the bells and the lightning in the background is like...
Yeah. So you could also, apparently if you turn the volume really high, you could hear the rats in the background.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Lightning. You know what happens to a rat that gets struck by lightning? Same thing that happens
to anything else.
I don't know if Jordan's old enough to know that quote.
Yeah.
Do you not remember one of the very first episodes we ever did of Slave Sector?
There's the leaked Gatling gun thing. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
fucking with you. That's the miniature that got leaked, the little Gatling motorcycle.
Oh, rip that guy.
They're just putting out their gat for the Rizzler.
Oh, he showed him his Ohio.
I like the ugly ass rat horse.
Sigmar lied. He never told us the true cost of this honor. Soon, all that will remain of me is an echo, lost to the storm. But until that day, I fight.
So Sigmar didn't really lie then. He just kind of obscured a little bit of.
He like fast talks the side effects like any good drug commercial.
Yeah.
Well, hashtag new AOS, boys.
Yes, it's official. Warhammer Age of Sigmar's new edition is here and is coming very, very soon. I'm
shocked it's coming in the summer.
Matt from the
Is it
AOS
here or is it
Studios
coming
to chat
soon?
about
Which
all
is
things
coming in the summer.
It's here
because he
and
said
coming
it's here.
It's
and
here.
It's coming soon.
It's here and it's coming in the summer.
Cinematic. I
Here
mean, come
and
on, that thing is absolutely.
Well, we gotta make it come first.
By that, let's talk about some of your top.
I was hoping to dodge that. God damn it!
We saw it. We were like,
God damn it!
Absolute tour de force. We've been working with these characters and these different factions
there
for
you
a
have it,
while,
ladies
but
and
seeing them
gentlemen.
brought to
This
life.
is a family
After
show.
Dark.
Family show.
Pitch perfect. Really
After
something.
Dark's definitely
I
not
love
a family
that they've
show.
worked so hard on that as well. You can tell that.
Neither is
bringing those
Slam
sort of
Sector
elements to
proper.
life, that bit where
Yeah.
I think you need a
comes
pop-up.
rolling
This is a
down that
family
hill
show.
with the rattling gun is just
Yeah,
absolutely
like we have the
amazing as well.
explosion and everything,
So
just
obviously this
family
event is
show.
sort of huge in the cinematic
Family
trailer that we've just
show.
seen. But obviously, it's just a small glimpse into the threat that the mortal realms are facing right now. So let's talk a little bit about the lore and sort of where we find ourselves in the narrative of Age of Sigmar. So whereabouts are we now?
The
Where
hour
are
of
we?
ruin has dawned, right? It's a new era for Age
yeah.
of Sigmar. So we've just come out of the era of the Beast, very destruction focused. Chaos strikes back. We've seen the Skaven enter play in a great cataclysm.
Are the
called
Skaven
That
chaos
was a
in
big
AOS?
explosion with all the stuff
Yeah.
In
rising out of
AOS,
the
they were
ground.
straight up
That's an
chaos. It was
entire nation
always
of Skaven.
like
It's not just a small area.
there was like
implied.
There were like chaos
A full
clans.
third of the Great Parch is now
yeah,
completely
there's suspicions
destroyed
that
and
they were tied to
replaced
chaos,
by
and like
Blight
the
City.
whole
Skaven
the
are
horned
the
god,
world,
the
and they
horned
are
rat was
pouring
Great
out
horned
their
rat,
somehow
yeah.
tied to chaos in
So
old
the
world,
Stormcast
but
Eternals and their mates better
There's
shore
also,
up those
like-
gaps pretty quickly because
Clan Pestilence existed.
It's not stopping anytime soon.
yeah, there were
Nice. So we
suspicions
chat a
that
little bit about
he was
the
something
Skaven
else.
there and sort of how the mortal
was always
realms
ambiguous.
have sort of
Yeah.
been
In Age
reforged and
Sigmar,
stuff.
it's
So
just straight
let's
up.
chat a little bit about the
It's chaos.
Skaven. What makes them so much more dangerous and so much more sort of horrifying in this
Like
new
they-
edition?
Well, we've seen the
They
Skaven
initially
before. They're old friends,
replaced
aren't they?
Slanesh
I mean,
with
we've
the
all
Horned Rat.
grown up with Skaven in a way. They're so Warhammer.
In AOS,
what
if I
we're seeing
remember
now is not
correctly.
just a few of
Well,
creeping around
no.
in the sewers, but a real
'Cause I mean, like, Hedonites of
tidal wave
Slaanesh
these things.
and everything
Well,
still
yeah,
exists.
but they weren't
The
there in the
seven
very
really is coming
beginning.
through, as well as
I
the
don't
humour,
think.
because of course there are a few beats of them running away and getting speared.
And like
Yeah.
Slaanesh is like
Rattling blaster
caged, like
from
chained
the
up
Claw Lord.
in
The Claw Lord,
AOS.
the Bailey guy.
So
No,
they're not
no,
like
no, no,
the
no,
Chaos
There's all
God.
that sense of humour to the
I
story.
don't know enough about AOS lore.
Slightly charming
Is the other
cowardice.
ones?
But we are also seeing the
As far as I
Skaven on their
understand,
best
I'm
day,
not like
which
an
is
expert of
pretty
AOS lore.
terrifying, with all the weird Frankensteinian monsters and technology.
Frankensteinian.
And numbers, just by
Alright.
numbers.
Yeah.
So there are, they're really coming as never before, and that's kind of fun to see them come out of the shadows like that.
Yeah, totally. And we can't talk about the Skaven without mentioning the Stormcast Eternals, obviously. So let's chat a little bit.
Yeah,
about,
of course.
the
You can't mention the
Hammer
Skaven
Knight,
without mentioning the
Ruination
Stormcast
Chamber
Eternals,
as well.
of
Tell us
course.
about that.
Sigmar hit the big button, didn't he, and opened another chamber. You know, the Ruination Chamber. These guys, as we saw in the main character in the trailer, been reforged so many times. They're starting to lose that little bit of themselves, losing that thing that made them human, and they're turning into incredible
need in
warriors that
Sigmar.
can go into some of those really awful places in the mortal realm. So we saw that, didn't we? The
Jaded,
regular
cold-blooded
Stormcast
killers.
bits of their armor coming away because they can't quite get in there. But the guys from the Ruination Chamber, in their go, we are the guys to do that.
Yeah,
That's
ready to
almost
go.
the benefit they get from their immortality is a curse. We've talked about this. So like, it might seem like a blessing to be these big, strong heroes and they've got all the kit, but really they're dying over and over again. That's not a good thing, and they're paying the price.
Oh, and that was really one of my favorite things from the trailer. I think it's the first time we've, really been able to show that so clearly. Both the blessing of immortality, but as Phil
I feel
said,
like
the
chaining
curse
up
of the
Slaanesh is
immortality
foreplay.
and the kind of
Correct.
character that we see
Yeah.
throughout the trailer. Seeing that journey.
Is this guy American? Am I crazy?
Both of
No,
becoming
his
more
accent's
veteran
just
and
not
becoming more elite and a stronger
very
warrior. But then
British. I don't know. He's got like an accent that I can
losing
hear.
that aspect of the humanity.
Yeah, but
and
is it like
ultimately,
Canadian
near
or
the end of that journey,
Chicago or
becoming kind of so
Baltimore?
It doesn't sound American.
jaded, so having seen
Neither
so
do
many
people from
horrors and
Baltimore.
lived through so many horrors and so many deaths.
Shit.
That these are kind of some of the only
All right.
people who can venture into the sense of horror.
I have no idea.
Let's
what
go back
people
to
from
talking
Baltimore
about
stuff
Let's
making
chat a little bit about rules then as
making
well.
I've never been to
What
Baltimore. I have
can
no
players
idea.
Expect to experience with this new edition of Age of Sigmar.
I couldn't even tell you where Baltimore is on a map.
Since the introduction of Age of Sigmar. This is
Maryland?
the first
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
rewrite
The Baltimore
of the rule set,
Ravens?
for Age of Sigmar since the very first edition came
Yo,
out. We really
they're
had
Raven
three
Guard?
major goals in mind when we were doing that. The first was opening up the game to more players than ever. Really trying to make sure that the game was
It could
easy
be
to learn,
Canadian.
easy for new players to get into, yet retaining the tactical depth that makes
No
it
fucking
difficult
comment
to master.
from me.
Where you could spend
Ryan.
years and
I'm
years
not even-
playing. and
Ryan,
gaining
speculate.
that skill and that skill.
Ryan, speculate with us.
I
Second thing was
speculate
building on
that
the interactivity.
they'll
in
do
third
one
edition,
more
with
tease.
more
Oh my
reactive
God.
commands and
I'm gonna
more
tease you.
opportunities for counterplay in your opponent's turn, and all of
promise?
that kind of comes together.
Oh, there
in-
it is.
in
There's the tease. The
These
eyebrow
really
tease.
nail-biting finishes. These really closely fought battles where every game can be exciting
Yelling
and
it right.
intense. And this
You know
is
what? Let
such
us
a
know in the
big,
chat what accent this guy has.
shift in the rules.
Don't
such a
make
big
it-
update, that not only have we done a major update to all the core rules, but also
Ryan, there's nothing
every
wrong
factional,
with
we're
that.
getting brand new rules.
Yeah, you can't talk about accents.
So there's lots and lots of exciting.
It's 2024. Accents are cringe. I don't hear accents.
It's not important. It doesn't
No, it's not. But
matter.
neither is what they're talking about.
Yourselves.
Literally, Warhammer is not important, and yet here we are.
Kind of important. Warhammer's got me through some hard times.
I think it's a small
That's
chain
fair.
that has huge impact.
It's got me out of some hard times, and also got me into some hard times. So
Yep.
It's like my
Got
two
me into
forms
some
of
financial decisions.
coping are either buying
characters can interact
emotional
with other
therapy
units,
orcs
how benefits can be
or
applied,
drinking.
and then also in combat. It just makes
And
that
emotional
combat
therapy.
You can do
orcs
both.
are
so
arguably-
much quicker to
No,
play,
no.
than it
Emotional
ever
therapy
has
orcs are.
For me, I think you touched on it
healthier.
there. Is that it is slicker. It's
I
easier
built
to play.
I built an emotional
And
therapy orc earlier.
Into telling a story on the battlefield and seeing,
Actually, a
those
few.
things which you talk about 10 years later.
If I buy emotional
And,
therapy orcs, that
having the rules
means
almost get out of the
not
way to be
drinking,
able to do that.
and
the
it
way
cuts
we've
into my
made
food
these
budget
rules
so I eat
they're so
less.
accessible and easy to use. We'll come to that in a minute. That it's far easier to see the ebb
I
and flow
honestly
of the
need some
battle
emotional
and to
therapy
do
orcs
cool
this
stuff
week,
on
but
the
I can't
battlefield.
afford it.
It's really
Stack
fun.
Blackhawk.
Yeah, baby.
Ooh, Thack.
kind of learning from all of the additions in the past.
He's big.
Through
He's a
that
lot bigger than
work
I
and
thought he
making
was
it
going to
more
be.
accessible. What we're really doing
Elliot,
is
I
trying
know
to
you're
make it
not
more
accent
elegant
blind.
as a rule set, and looking for
Because when I start
opportunities,
speaking French to you, you
to
hate
really
it
merge
so
down
much.
without losing any of that tactic, any of that skill expression.
He just actually hates the French language. It has nothing to do with the
Flavor
accent.
lore that comes through in these war
Yeah,
scrolls.
yeah,
he calls it
Battlefield.
I think you
peanut
said
butter
before, Matt,
mouth.
as well, I've got almost a decade of knowledge now and feedback from players.
Is Elliot
all
a
over
snob
the
for the
world,
French
to be
accent?
able to put into that.
No, and just
I don't know.
you know, our own lived experiences, the amount of the games that we've played, and we all love the game and love the system. So you know, this is
Diet
really
works for
a
Ryan,
culmination of that, and I couldn't be more excited to get it into players' hands.
The only problem with the
So let's
Warhammer
talk
diet
Spearhead as
is
well, 'cause this is a new,
the
a
food
brand
that's
new
the
way for
cheapest in
players
our society
to
is
play Age of
the
Sigmar. Talk to
absolute
us about
worst
that.
food for you.
Tell us everything about Spearhead that we need to know.
Gosh, everything. So Spearhead,
I've eaten
it comes in
just
the launch box,
so many
you
dozens
play
of bags
Spearhead,
of
the models,
Cheeto Puffs.
the board,
'Cause that's all I can afford.
The rules.
This is the only thing I can sustain myself
as
on.
well are all included in the box. So
I
you
mean,
can
that's
play
made
it
from
straight out
corn.
of the
It's a
box on day
vegetable.
one.
As you said, a brand new way to play the game. It's a small
No.
format game. It uses
Starch.
a lot of brand
It's
new
a starch.
mechanics you haven't seen before.
Well, what is
really
it?
compelling
Corn's a
card
starch, isn't
mechanics
it?
for tactics and commands. And it's
Yes,
just,
that's
you
what
know,
I
a-
just
a
said.
Really, really exciting.
Oh, yeah.
And very balanced way to play the game.
You spoke Creole and then lied about it.
Creole.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, was that wasn't yesterday? That was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Tactical depth.
What is
It
happening
really
with
feels like
time?
you're still playing a big
Sigmar
Warhammer,
lied, dude.
playing Warhammer,
Sigmar
but,
lied.
It's a lot easier to do.
Is that what
And each of
Sigmar
the
lied about?
spearheads has been really well
Yeah,
balanced against
we're
the
slam
other,
cast
even if it
Eternals.
looks
We
like
die
you
every
might
time
have the
we do a
advantage.
stream.
Slamcast Eternals! I have a box of unbuilt Stormcast Eternals in my closet.
There you go.
I guess they're Slamcast Eternals
The
now.
real punch of that
Gotta paint 'em
experience
yellow.
doesn't show up till halfway through the game. That gives a kind of inbuilt narrative to the game.
That's your
So
that's
you've
your
got the
AOS
scenario
army.
where your normal Stormcast are trying to hold.
But I already
the
have
line,
so
and
many
then
cool
you've got
boys.
enemy, and
You've
then
got cool
pow,
boys.
straight halfway
Yeah,
through the
I just
battle,
need to
in
round
comes
out my
the
Cool Boys army.
Annihilators to swing it back. So there's
I
like
gotta
a
get them
inbuilt
done
story
before
to
the new
that.
edition
There are
launches.
choices you can make, so you
Are we
can still
playing
give your
AOS
guys different
when
Yeah.
the new edition
command
launches?
traits or
Yeah,
artifacts.
let's do it,
Do I need
dog.
to be painting my
You can give your army
chaos?
different ways to fight.
If you want to.
Of course,
That's
the
up to you.
board is double-sided, so you've got Actually side on
Doesn't
one
sound
side,
like
you want
it
to
is.
fight in Actually, fire and passion.
I know exactly
And
how
the
I'm
other
going to paint
side
them.
is Gairan,
Unlike
which
most
is much
armies,
more
I
don't
can't
have
I
any-
can't make you paint anything.
And the cycle of life.
Yeah,
and the
that's
cards that you pick up
absolutely
every
true.
turn will give you different objectives.
Actually, you've
Go
made me
there,
paint things
kill
before.
that, get your dudes over
What?
that side. So
I've pulled all-nighters for Slam Sector.
That's not my fault.
It must be so good for experienced players to be able to get.
Why
games
did you
in
make
really
this
quick, but
friggin'
also
successful
players that
stream
might be
channel
new to kind of AOS,
and
being able
involve
to
me
pick
in
that
it?
up, and also great for like the tournament scene as well.
Come
if you
on,
can play
be real.
X amount of
We
games
are
and-
pseudo-successful at best.
Well,
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
on
yeah,
a
that's
second.
good.
Whoa, I got to
That
stop the
would
conversation for a
Spearhead.
second. Mr. Kevster is
We
dropping a
brought
very
in,
hot take in chat.
a group
He's saying,
Okay.
guys,
veteran
I think
playtesters.
Sigmar lied.
It ended up turning into
Oh my god.
effectively a tournament over.
I
the
don't know
weekend.
if that's
We all got
true.
Really,
I don't-
really into
I
it,
don't know
really
where you're
competitive.
getting that.
And so this is something that we've
Sigmar
seen
lied?
really
Yo.
resonate with players. And people get a lot of excitement for it.
I think what's been fun from like an experienced player
Yeah.
is picking up any.
Maybe I'll go
spearhead
buy
and
myself a
just-
box
because
of,
there's so few rules around the
Sig-
battle
of,
traits, and there's
cities
so few
tomorrow.
war scrolls
Cities.
involved.
Just to
You
feel
just
good.
pick it up and
You
play a
know what,
game.
Sean?
Not
I'm
feel
gonna-
like
I'm
you're
just gonna
missing
go out
out
on a limb
on
and say you
anything,
need some
'cause there's
emotional
quite a lot of times when we
support.
go
I
into
do.
the playtesting
Cities of
play
Sigmar.
games, go, what we're going to play with?
Yeah,
I do.
You do.
You need a whole city of emotional support.
You need some emotional support. Guys on towers on the top of Ogryns with rifles.
Just working your way
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And emotional
Let's chat a little bit
support
about
ladies
faction packs as well.
on big lion monsters.
Use this new edition as a really good opportunity to sort of update and rebalance and rewrite all of the units for the armies.
I
in
really
Age
want to
Sigmar,
get
so
all
let's
of their.
check
They have a
that
bunch
out
of
a little
different
bit.
5-man
Because there's
squads
such
that are like
kind of,
named
sweeping
squads, and I don't know how many of those I
changes
could run in
throughout
an
the rule
army,
set.
but I want all of them.
It was really the perfect opportunity to go.
Yeah,
back
Cruel
and
Boys has
revisit
one too.
factions.
Like
I
monster
think the
some
War
playtest
Scrolls
games
hunters. or
Aren't the
something.
war
Conversations
scrolls
early on
for
were,
Age of Sigmar
you know,
free?
it was a big kind of learning point
Online?
for us that
I think so.
Yeah, but I don't know what I'm
the
looking
game
at.
could never be would never
Does
be
the
less
app not
complex than the most complex
let
faction.
you build a Age of
because you
Sigmar
might
army?
either be playing with that faction.
It does,
or
but
against
like
that
I have to pick like a
and so,
thing,
you know,
and I don't know
lot
what
of
I'm
that,
supposed to pick.
Same approach to
The thing-
streamlining and really trying to focus in on the most impactful rules,
Like,
the most character.
every army has, like, different
but
little
removing a lot of the other
sub-factions you can pick.
Yeah, I gotta pick. I
detail
gotta
that
like
maybe
pick a
you
sub
had to manage
faction,
before.
and
So
then
a
I gotta
really good
pick
example
like
is the
a.
reintroduction of a
I gotta
limited
pick
set
a
of
battle
universal
pack. I
special
don't know what a
rules.
battle pack is.
So things like
Me neither.
champions or standard bearers, musicians. You know, some weapon abilities.
So if anyone in
You know,
chat,
now,
Alpha
instead of
Omega,
needing a
knows
full
the
rule
current
on each
AOS
war
battle
scroll to
pack,
explain
let
how
me
this
know.
works, you can just say champion and everyone knows how
Alpha Mega
that
says,
works,
"Looks like
and-
my
and
bank
it-
account is safe
you
after
know,
these
that part
reveals, as I
becomes
don't really have an
clean,
interest
really
in the
easy to
revealed
do.
models."
So it makes each
They
war
didn't
the
do
dwarves
Wood Elves.
got
I'm
me-
sorry.
much
Yeah, the dwarves got me thinking unwise. I might wait
every single war
until the
scroll,
Wood Elves are
fits
revealed
on a single-sided
to make a
card,
final decision,
with all of the
or
information,
tease
kind of
at
no
least.
matter how big the character.
Look, if you don't build a dwarves
We've
army,
also done quite a lot
it's
of
going to be a
work
grudgeon.
on stats and characteristics as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So an awful lot of time spent.
Gonna be a grudgeon.
I already have an elf army,
putting
I
them in
guess.
categories. How
I
many
don't
wounds
know,
should
man.
this unit of cavalry have? How many wounds should this one have? So that it makes a lot
And
more
then the
sense
chaos,
visually
the
when you
chaos
look
stuff
at the
obviously
battlefield
has
and
me
you can see what
has
sort
me
of arm
gripped.
state, what sort of movement should this unit
I don't
by
play any
Parkman
chaos, and
animation.
all of those chaos lords are sick.
So it's all a lot more.
Those chaos lords are
One
rad.
of my favourite parts of that
Yeah.
is that the
And they
colour-coding
talked
system,
about
quite
they
visual.
talked
We
about
like to
Night
look at the
Lord
battlefield and
siege
look at our
companies
war
in
scrolls,
there.
They're listening.
books,
They're
And
just-
then there was a GSC kill
to
team.
go with it to tell you what phase you use.
Yeah.
Look,
They-
we've been
they-
saying it. GW is spying on us. GW's watching.
GSC Votan kill team.
Oh, Elliot's in the chat. Elliot, did you see the?
Did you see the new Votan kill team?
Do it at certain times.
So I know that
really
Elliot doesn't
tried to
particularly
look
like
from a lore
the
perspective,
frontiersman Votan as
from
much
a
as his
miniatures
like
perspective, from a rules
really?
perspective.
heavy.
Those are my
heavy
favorites.
suit
One of
wars.
our
I like the
main
frontiersmen.
To me, they're
of the
they're my
game
favorites.
Is that the rules reflect the mortal realms.
Those
right?
new ones look
And
so
I think
rad.
The game works best when all three of those things are working in concert, where it feels intuitive.
Oh, yeah,
Sean,
pitched
just
battles.
select pitched battles. It's
Pitched
effectively
battles,
open
alright.
play.
And really
Dope.
differentiate the different races, the different
Dope,
units,
dope,
the different factions,
Yeah.
and give them much more of an identity through the character.
I'm sure anything
So
from those
these war
5-man
scrolls, they'll be
squads
free
that
to
you
access
can't
on launch, right?
take in
Yeah,
a
that's
full
right. So there's
Siege of
digital
Sigmar
versions
army,
of
you
available
can
at
proxy
launch,
as
and
like
there's
a
also
champion
something
or
else.
something
card
else.
versions of them as well, so you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
make that in gaming table.
Also,
just
we've
stick 'em in
got,
a unit.
updated rules for all of the armies of renown, regiments.
I
of
gotta look
renown,
up all the
you
city
know, content
sub-factions,
from the
too.
Dawnbringer series that you've been playing.
Make up your own city.
All updated.
Accidental nap at like 10?
Everybody gets
That's just
something
going
new
to
and
bed
cool to look
early.
through.
That's just
Hopefully it will
sleep.
inspire you to telling great stories
Yeah.
on the battlefield.
Now you're
and
fucked because
have
you're
a
awake
lot
again.
of Age of Sigmar. So yeah, hope you will enjoy it.
Great. Thank you so much. Well, Ben, Phil, Matt, thank you so much for joining us and coming into the studio to chat.
When are we going to get like a wood-walled room like this for Slam Sector?
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Whenever people give us more money, I guess.
Well, that's all we've got time for. What a show
I
and
mean,
what a series
that's
of
the real
episodes.
answer.
Thank you to AdeptiCon for having us, and thank you to you for being with us. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much. as we have.
So,
Remember
y'all
to
join
connect
Slam
with the
Sector as a
Warhammer
member so we can get a
website
wood-paneled
to find
room.
out more about any
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
upcoming releases. And don't forget to
Or
follow us
just
on all our
like and
socials to keep up to
subscribe.
date
We'll
with
take
all
that.
the
We
latest
just
news.
love the
Thanks again.
That too,
See
but
you
that
next
doesn't get
time
us a
on
wood-paneled
Warhammer
room.
Preview Show.
Like Ryan so desperately craves.
I'm not desperate. I'm desperate's a bit of a
Ryan desperately craves a wood-paneled room.
I did pick up a gigantic birch butcher block countertop today to make a desk out of.
Why not a wall?
Oh, rad.
Why not a wall out of that?
I guess I could buy a bunch of them and just nail them into the walls of my room. I don't know if Tony would appreciate that.
Well, how often does Tony go into your room?
Never.
Well, there you go.
Okay, well there
As
you
far
go.
as I know. None of my traps have gotten set off.
Oh.
Well, anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. There's some pretty cool
Yeah.
shit there.
Yeah, new Chaos Lords, that's cool. The new Chaos Lady from AOS looks really cool. New version of AOS, that means we gotta pick that up. We gotta pick up some Age of Sigmar. We're gonna chat bullied us into playing Kill Team.
Yep. I mean, I'm already buying that Kill Team Night Lord.
I gotta
Mandrake
buy the
box
GSC
anyway.
one, so guess we're playing Kill Team, y'all. I gotta learn how to play Kill Team because I don't know anything about it.
So
It's
I remember it
magnets.
being fun. I remember it being fun. But we'll see. Kevster
Yeah.
brings up a good point. Tony does not need to know what he cannot see.
You can probably hear it though, unless he's not home when you do it.
Yeah, they're not home a lot. I can do things.
It's true.
There you
Don't
go.
let Tony watch this video.
Tony doesn't watch
Tony doesn't
these.
watch our stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Tony, famous Warhammer lover. Yeah.
Yeah, my top drop from
yeah.
this reveal has got to be the Chaos Lords. That's
yeah,
my top.
yeah,
drop.
that's your top drop. Sean, what's your top drop?
That AOS Chaos Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whatever they would call them.
Spear of the Everchosen, I think is what she's
Yeah,
called.
the,
something like
it's a tiefling. It's a tiefling on Drake. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tiefling on the War Drake.
Mine is the GSC Chaos Lord. That was my favorite. Everybody else picked a Chaos Lord, so I had to also. I don't know.
I mean, your
well, the GSC Chaos Lord was
is
just Patriarch.
Yeah.
Yeah, your GSC is corrupted by.
That's
Nurgle.
just the old normal Patriarch, though. That's not. Well, it's actually not. Spoilers. There's an older Patriarch that is now in my possession. Spoilers. Yeah.
Tune into Slam Spectre to see.
Maybe next time I play GSC, we'll have it.
Whatever that is. In the summer?
I don't.
GSC
I
summer?
don't know. GSC summer. It's gonna be Muscle
Hot
Beach.
Sealer summer?
Muscle Beach summer because I'm just gonna run all aberrants. Muscle Beach, baby. Back on the menu. Anyways, I think that's going to probably do it for us. Unless you guys have any parting words.
Nah.
Tune in Monday for our next battle.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be a
No
spicy
stream
one.
tomorrow?
No stream tomorrow. This was our Thursday stream because it's now Thursday. So, yeah. Yeah, Monday we're gonna have Chaos Demons versus Chaos Knights, a little bit of a Chaos versus Chaos battle. And then yeah, that's all that's on the radar for now. So, good night, everyone.
Take it easy.